Onic atau RRQ yang juara?
Weh, cepet banget nih langsung ngasih tahu kisi-kisinya. Tapi kalau ngebahas, oke kita akan ngebahas itu lebih dalam nanti. Cuma kalau kita ngebahas tentang MPL Indonesia, regenerasinya banyak banget player muda, anyar, dan terlihat mereka performnya sangat memukau. Gimana new generation dari MPL Indonesia?
Regenerasinya bagus sih Bude, sama kayak kita lihat nih kalau di Onic ataupun RRQ, God lane mereka dua-duanya rookie, tapi udah ngasih performa yang bagus gitu, jadi regenerasinya bagus lah.
Regenerasi bagus, nggak cuma dari player-player, namun kalau kita ngebahas tentang MSC yang sesaat lagi memang dinantikan, kita udah ngeliat banyak banget dari berbagai region sudah terlihat para juara. Dan juga kalau dari Indonesia sendiri sebenarnya kita ada new potential. Tadinya ada 2, sekarang tinggal 1. Ada Geekfam dan juga Alter Ego. Kalau dari Indonesia, mungkin gak sih ini akan menjadi new gain di MSC?
Mungkin, tapi kalau Geek dibilang baru kayaknya enggak juga sih. Soalnya dia M5
internasional, tapi
aku
belum
bertemu
MSC.
dia. Oh MSC belum, ya benar. Mungkin bisa jadi, tapi for now aku rasa finalnya tetap, siapapun yang menang di sini finalnya tetap RRQ Onic.
Itu bold statement banget.
Bold.
Wah. Tapi gimana halnya dengan MPL Malaysia? Karena kita lihat banget banyak new generation untuk MSC 2025. Aero dan juga DX, ini kan 2 tim yang ada player Indonesianya.
Betul.
Mungkin nggak mereka ke MSC?
Kalau Rasi sih ya, Rasi kayak aduh semoga lah gak bisa ya, walaupun agak berat. Semoga lah, gak tuh harga maksudnya dia Rasi.
Semoga bisa.
Walaupun dia Rasi.
Semoga bisa. Walaupun saya yakinnya kemungkinan besar Aero sih. Soalnya semenjak kemasukan Hazel tuh gameplaynya lain. Kita kena bantai waktu itu sama Hazel. Oke. Jadi perubahan signifikan terjadi ketika ada player dari Indonesia masuk. Gameplay tim Malaysia jadi berubah.
Ya betul. Saya sebenarnya agak kecewa lah sama RRQ. Masuknya pas banget lawan tim saya gitu. Saya udah ready lawan jungle sebelumnya. Pas masuk kena bantai. Selesai. Pusing kepala saya.
Pusing. Tapi kalau ngelihat Malaysia, ini sebenarnya jadi penasaran. Perwakilan Malaysia juga harus dihadapi oleh perwakilan Indonesia. Ini Indonesia bakal ngelawan gak sih? Karena dari tahun lalu Malaysia lah yang mendapatkan MSC 2025 SRG. Udah bisa ngelawan belum nih kita?
Saya rasa udah bisa sih. Soalnya kalau ngelihat track record dan gameplay RRQ, Onic ataupun Geekfam, bagi saya bisa melawan lah SRG. Defending championnya SRG kan? Saya rasa bisa.
Well, namun yang menjadi penasaran adalah peta kekuatan. Kita ngelihat Indonesia, lalu Malaysia, fokus ke Malaysia ini kayak karena ada Anca ya. Tapi apakah memang musuh utamanya masih Filipina?
Musuh utama sebenarnya Filipina, SRG sama tim Indo menurut saya setara. Tiga ini. Tim Filipina, tim Indo sama SRG, bukan Malaysia, SRG.
Oke.
Ya menurut saya setara.
Namun apa nih bedanya?
Bedanya gak ada sih, menurut saya sama aja, tergantung strategi yang mereka bawa nanti.
Oke, berada di level yang sama, namun bagaimana strategi itu yang akan membuktikan.
Betul.
Dan ngomong-ngomong tentang strategi, kedua tim ini sama-sama solid dan kuat. Untuk match kita yang akan menjadi perwakilan Indonesia, ada Onic yang lagi mode playoff, ada RRQ yang menunjukkan kestabilannya dari babak reguler. Gimana ngelihat dua tim ini nih?
Wah ini sih seru banget ya. Jadi kalau kita lihat dua tim ini ada satu perbedaan dan satu kesamaan.
Oke.
Kesamaannya, mereka tuh kalau udah snowball susah dibalikin.
Oke.
Perbedaannya? RRQ tuh power pick, sedangkan Onic unique pick. Jadi makanya ini match yang sangat seru buat ditonton, dan kalian semua yang udah datang menurut saya beruntung sih bisa ngelihat match sebesar ini di sini.
Yes, kita semua pastinya akan menjadi saksi. Namun satu terakhir, prediksi untuk match ini.
Wah gimana ya kalau prediksi ya, sama kuat sih ini. Cuman ini siapapun yang menang ketemu lagi di grand final. Kalau buat prediksi sekarang best of 5 ya. Saya rasa 3-2 Onic sih.
3-2 Onic. Namun bagaimana dengan para panelis? Apakah setuju dengan Anca dengan antagonis? Atau mereka punya insight-insight yang berbeda? Karena dua tim ini terlihat sangat kuat dan mendominasi. Kita langsung lemparkan saja kepada para panelis. So panelis, let's go! Royal
a massive entrance because we have a special guest. Who is the guest?
Who's that?
Welcome back to MPL ID Season 15. It is the panelist desk with me, Realize, Mirko, and Arashi. It's just the three of us accompanying you to match number 2. Is there someone beside you? Or are we gonna wait till midnight?
Well, to be fair, we already started with a dark screen for you guys, just to
Ooh.
mystery. But the revelation is already here. We have Arashi all the way from the Philippines.
Arashi!
Oh, thanks for coming, man. How you doing, Midnight?
I'm an RQ fan, by the way. I'm an RQ fan.
Obviously, it's midnight from MPLPH. Welcome to the Indonesian MPL. I was about to say Indonesian broadcast, but we're in the English broadcast. And by the way, you know, our producer just gave the information that the reason why we had our lights off was to introduce him. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I kind of caught on. I was like, oh, it's dark. Oh, they're introducing, the name. But yeah, MPL ID's crazy good, crazy wild. It's been so hyped. Got a lot of experience, especially with Arashi watching with me yesterday. I got experience Kingdom.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh
sir.
my days. It's crazy.
Yeah. What can you say about the Kingdom crowd yesterday, Mirko?
I mean, now you really know, right? For everybody back at home as well, that whatever stadium, whatever arena we go to here in Indonesia, it's always home turf. It's always a home crowd for
Yeah.
RRQ. Heck, even here up against Onic, pretty worthy fan base at rivaling RRQ, it's still the Kingdom who are overwhelmingly controlling the atmosphere of Jakarta International Velodrome.
You gotta be careful though. Their opponents are the Sky King. So it's Onic arriving on the Velodrome. We're gonna go to Alyssa for an interview with the players arriving. Who will be interviewed? We had a few of the players interviewed earlier on, but now it's gonna be Onic standing in their way. I believe they're arriving very, very soon, and we'll have Alyssa to interview the players. So Alyssa, walk us through. Who will you be interviewing?
Kembali lagi bersama Alisa Natali pastinya di MPL Indonesia Season 15. Dan hari ini Alisa melaporkan langsung dari backstage yang akan kita lihat para player dari Onic yang hari ini akan bertarung dengan RRQ di match kedua di hari ketiga. Hari ini mereka akan memperebutkan final upper bracket. Mereka sudah ada bersama kita. Good luck Onic, semangat, semangat, semangat. Oke, kita culik sedikit kali ya. Di sini ada Sans yang bakal kita ajak-ajak ngobrol. Halo Sans, apa kabar hari ini?
Baik banget.
Oke. Sans, gimana nih di Jakarta International Velodrome lagi? Apakah ini bisa membawa Onic untuk juga bisa melaju ke EWC MSC 2025 nih?
Ya insya Allah hari ini rezeki kita ya, semua pasti tim berekspektasi bakal menang, tapi kita nggak ke situ, cuman kita fokus di tim kita sendiri dan fokus di match ini.
Oke, kita akan lihat ya. Tapi kalau misalkan ngomongin soal matchnya nih, soal orang-orang yang kira-kira kamu perlu waspadai nih, kira-kira siapa sih dari RRQ nih yang kayak patut jaga-jaga nih?
Kalau di situ sih aku sebenarnya nggak ada sama sekali. Aku sama seperti yang aku bilang, fokus pada tim sendiri dan kasih yang terbaik.
Oke, baik yang bilang kalau misalkan mid laner yang bisa bermain seagresif kamu adalah Rins nih. Menurut kamu seperti apa nih? Kamu nanti akan menghadapi Rins juga?
Sebenarnya nggak kenapa-kenapa sih, emang itu pendapat netizen juga. Jadi aku sama sekali nggak peduli mau lawan siapa. Jadi aku siap dengan match siapapun.
Jadi sama siapapun ready aja ya pokoknya. Ada pesan nggak sih untuk RRQ?
Semangat, kasih pertarungan yang seru.
Kasih pertarungan yang seru dan kita akan lihat apakah di final upper bracket ini Onic menjadi tim yang pertama bisa mengamankan posisi mereka untuk mewakili Indonesia di EWC MSC 2025. Thank you so much. Good luck ya Sans dengan Onic, dan kita akan melihat dan pastikan kita akan menonton di match kedua hari ini antara Onic melawan RRQ. See you.
Thanks Alyssa. Midnight. Translate it for us.
He said he's ready. He wants to be at MSC. He wants to do his best, and he's gonna prove himself on this stage.
That's what being in Indonesia for 3 days does to you.
That's benar.
That's benar.
Everything I've learned in the Philippines
What?
were like bad words. How does somebody know how to speak good Indonesian?
Because I have good teachers. Thank you, Arashi.
No, like,
Oh man.
wait,
He was with me the whole day yesterday.
I taught him good Indonesian?
Yes, sir. I claim full responsibility.
He was. But if
Well,
you could wrap
there's
up,
good and there's good. So, you know, yeah.
They're good.
it is good. But Sans obviously was talking about how he wants to focus more on himself compared to maybe just comparing himself to Rins.
Yeah.
But Rins yesterday was delivering a very good performance. Same goes for Sans. But what can you say, Arashi, about Sans yesterday?
Sans yesterday is classic Sans, man. He goes with this aggressive hero that has vulnerabilities, and somehow, some way, with the synergy with his team, he just makes sure that all these windows of opportunity that should be allowed to try and go with something like a Farsa, for instance, were just denied completely.
We're hearing the banging of the drums
Yes,
from the
sir.
kingdoms marching into the arena. But it's also the RRQ Hoshi players arriving. So Alyssa, take us through.
Halo, kembali lagi bersama Alisa, pastinya masih di backstage karena Alisa akan segera langsung menunggu kehadiran dari RRQ yang hari ini akan berada di final upper bracket bersama dengan Onic. Nah, kayaknya match kali ini bakalan panas banget sih karena ini adalah dua tim yang wah sudah hadir juga ya, yang juga sama-sama memiliki banyak super fans yang mendukung mereka untuk bisa mewakili Indonesia di EWC. Halo, Rins, apa kabar hari ini?
Alhamdulillah baik.
Oke, Rins, gimana nih hari ini akan melawan Onic? Kalau misalkan kita tarik sedikit ke regular season, kalian kemarin sempat kalah nih dari Onic. Gimana nih hari ini persiapannya?
Persiapannya mungkin sekarang kita lebih bersemangat lah karena ini playoff kan, jadi kita lebih bersemangat lah buat melawan Onic.
Oke, sudah lebih siap ya. Tapi kalau kita ngelihat kamu nanti akan melawan Sans nih, mid laner yang juga sudah diakui secara global. Nah, apa nih yang kamu persepsikan, menurut kamu Sans itu seperti apa sih mid lanernya?
Sans jago sih dia, terus mekaniknya juga tinggi, terus gua juga banyak belajar lah dari dia. Ya semoga bisa menang lah hari ini lawan dia.
Semoga hari ini bisa menang ya lawan Sans. Oke, jadi sudah siap hari ini untuk final upper bracket mengamankan tiket ke EWC MSC?
Siap banget.
Oke. Boleh dong pesan untuk Onic.
Buat Onic, good luck, have fun aja.
Good luck and have fun juga buat Rins. Good luck, dan kita akan melihat apakah di match kali ini RRQ akan bisa mengamankan tiket pertama ke EWC MSC di tahun 2025 ataukah sebaliknya. So, kita lihat di match kedua hari ini. See you.
That was Rins with Alyssa talking us through about his preparations on towards today. In the past, he received a few criticisms on being off position sometimes, but now he's able to restore himself into a better position, and he's able to play very, very flawlessly yesterday, I would say, against Ultra Ego. And I want to hear on what the audience back at home has to say. Sky Kings versus King of Kings. Who secures the first ticket to MSC 2025? Because we have to note that we will find out our first Indonesian representatives for MSC.
What do you think, Midnight?
I'd say, I've talked about how great the kingdom is. The fandom is very, very incredible.
Yeah.
But I gotta give it to Onic. Like, they've had an amazing journey in the regular season, even though it wasn't really their best shape we've seen from this team. I think the progression is there for this squad. So I'm really looking to see the Sky Kings fly once again.
It's funny when you say progression with a team that's been around, you know, they've been around, been doing that. So, yeah, I think they've been really, really good. But I think that we haven't seen all that RRQ has to offer. So I'm backing my hopes on that. They did say yesterday, I believe it was Rins or Sutsujin, that they were still saving a few strats. And after that, in the interview, Sutsujin said that, you know, Alter Ego were going to get 3-0 by Geek Fam just because they're pretty bad. They don't have any gameplay to show here in the playoffs. And technically that was proven. So hopefully they will be able to prove that, yes, they have been hiding a lot of their strats, because it's now or never. The Royal Derby, the Royal Bestie era might be back.
It's obviously an era where we had to go through MPL ID Season 8, the Grand Finals was there, Season 9 as well, Season 10, even a treble of that era being around. Royal Derby though, in your eyes, Midnight, what does it kind of provide, to the fans watching?
I mean, it provides history and, a backstory to this entire affair between RRQ and Onic. Back then, when they're at their prime era, this was really a huge match to witness. When this was happening, I was still coaching in Philippines. Onic, Indonesia was really scary, as well as RRQ. Even though there was a big curve down to their performance, now we're seeing these two kings come back in the the grandest stages.
I think for the longest time for Onic, especially in this season and even previous season, the only slump I saw from Onic was really about, it's kind of weird. I think the meta shifted in a way where it didn't help a lot of the players that have made Onic so special. Trio mid has lost a lot of power back in the day. It seems like the Sky King's domination is back, is over. No, wow, 79% to 21%.
79?
To be fair,
Yeah,
Rush,
come on.
this is the English stream where we
I
have
know,
mostly
dang.
international viewers who probably don't have RQ in a lot of their pick'ems in the world stage.
I'm gonna be honest, 40% of those Filipino fans.
But
40? No, you're 70.
70.
It's sounding more like 70, yeah.
you know, Arashi, if
What's up?
there is someone that they can play for, you know, a window where RQ can play for RQ to win. By the way, before that, we're gonna talk about Severo and Toy. You know, head to head. Obviously, these players are both rookies, right? Severo has been for quite some time the tip of the spear for Onic in terms of when Kyrie's not showing up or maybe Sans is having an off day. Severo is there. For Toy though, will he be a player that RQ can really play for to get that win against Onic?
I feel like throughout the regular season, he's been the player that has a bit more like unpredictability, for sure. After the Coach Yeb effect, though, we've seen Severo with his own share of crazy performances. So I feel like that is the main difference. What do you think, Midnight?
Honestly, Severo is the kind of player that needs momentum. He needs like a natural build-up. He needs to be built upon as a goal laner. But there was a time where I kind of questioned why they replaced CW with Severo, but he did shine on his signature heroes. But I think for Onic Indonesia, that's something that they really have to polish on, because I think Severo has fantastic mechanics. He just has to work on some positionings in the game, you know, be able to like have a good grasp on the early stages of the game for Onic.
Yeah, I think in the gold lane it's always kind of been a task, a very difficult task for a lot of the Onic gold laners in the past. When you have such a big emphasis on the trio mid, your gold lane tends to be the weak side for like 90% of your games.
Right.
CW had that problem as well. That's why we've always really spoken about Keyboy, Sans, Kyrie when we're talking about Onic. Even Boots, right? Even the XB usually gets shafted in the draft, gets placed onto heroes that just is forced to enable the team. But that's why I think Lutpi is so special now. He is given the role of carry because he is really good on the XP carries. When he's on the playmaking and enabling picks, he's actually not as good.
The Arlet, the Terizlas as well. That's where we saw him kind of struggle in that. But now the duo mid showdown, Sans and Keyboy against Edoc and Rins. Sans and Keyboy, they need no introduction. Seasoned veterans, by the way. And Edoc, Rins, these are the newcomers. Not relatively new. They have been there. I mean, they made it to M6. But where do you think lies, you know, the loophole where maybe Edoc and Rins will win out against Sans and Keyboy?
What? I feel like if it turns into like a waiting game where both teams just kind of waiting around, if Onic doesn't really put RQ in a position to respawn and let them make the first move, I feel like they've been really, really good at that. And that is what makes this Edoc Rins combination so good. Both of them do unexpected stuff. And so if you let them, you know, plot for something unexpected, you're gonna pay the price for it, man. And this is a bit of a matchup between the old gen mid-roam combo and the new gen mid-roam combo. So I think you can see a bit of a similarity with how aggressive both these combinations can be.
Yeah, I think personally, this is like the benefit of being a rookie. Like Rins and Edoc, they look like Sans and Keyboy when they're in prime form. You know, they're very aggressive. And, it's because of the fact that there's like, there's a significant amount of Keyboy is so victimized. Not victimized, but they're kind of a victim of overwhelming discipline on Onic, because I think most of the times I see Sans and Keyboy, they're sort of like controlled back, they're held back by certain factors for Onic.
All right. Again, I think we've seen a lot of a lot of the plays from Sans. This is what I was talking about, player rankings in #1 mid lane total kills, and #2 it's both Moreno and Sans, super active hyper carries in the mid lane. We've seen a lot of those Kimmies, those Farsas for Moreno, for Sans as well, especially Sans. He really has been the carry for Onic in the regular season. But it's the complete opposite, I'd say, for RQ's captain in Rins. We've seen him play more utility picks, and that's why usually when we talk about Rins, we talk about this shot calling, we talk about the assists, but even with the assists, it's Sans who's topping the board.
But we saw the carry picks come out, right? The Farsa, the Yves yesterday was delivered in the hands of Rins. I mean, sure, we did see the Faramis. That is a Rins type of pick, right? The utility carry.
Sort of.
But I'm talking about mid laners. I mean, before that, obviously we're gonna come and prepare for the players to walk out. So I think it'll be a very, very strong mid lane battle now. Sans against Rins, but I think Enoch and Keyboy at the same time, they'll be on the helm to charge forward as we take a look at the players' entrance.
Ladies and gentlemen, your first ticket from Indonesia, your first rep will be decided here. A battle of fate, a battle of destiny between the old guard, the trio mid who's been at the peak of Indonesian MLBB forever, up against the new kings in the block. It is once again the fated duel. Royal Bestie, who's we've seen for so long. The Sonics versus the Kingdom. Raise your banners for the battle between Onic and the Kingdom's RRQ Hoshi.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for. The Kings clashing in right here in the Jakarta International Velodrome. As our Marshal Gary brings in KSQ along with Rave coming through with Coach Yep and Adi. As always, drafting is so important. And with Coach Yep and KSQ duking it out, fully expect the mind games, the flex picks, the jukes in the drafting phase.
Looking at the way both these teams have played at this point, I'm just expecting high-level MLBB. I'm expecting guns blazing as well in a way, where it's kind of weird. Onic and RRQ, they've always kind of been a team that takes it slow in the game, very disciplined route. But RRQ have shown a different side entirely in their match against Alter Ego. It's much more brawly. It's completely different from the systemized KSQ style of RRQ that we've seen in the regular season that we saw just last season too.
Yeah, I think for this time, RRQ and Onic has to start in an explosive way. Like, you know, for RRQ, they have to show their guns blazing. Game number one, show the strats, because I think Onic has the advantage in terms of like pool strategy pool. Like they have a lot of heroes to work with. They're very diverse. We've seen Kyrie pull out a Kaja jungle. Who would have thought Kyrie, you know, being the mechanic god that he is, pull out a utility jungler. Not just a utility jungler, a one-trick utility jungler that is just basically a walking stun, a walking divine judgment. And for me, that is the main weapon of Onic. They could just target ban the specific heroes or the key heroes that RRQ could pull off.
And that underlines, Mirko's point about Ludwig being the carry even more. Because Kyrie, the hyper carry that has been under Onyx spotlight, transitioning into that Kaja pick in the jungle, enabling Ludwig. And by the way, in that game, as the Masha, he was rampantly just juking it out against TLID. So I think that's insane. But now, the meta, I want to talk to Midnight a bit about this. What are some stern comparisons you can pull out, in terms of the meta in ID and PH?
I think the shift to the utility jungler and having more damage XP laners allows for more breathing room in terms of the objectives, because now there's a lot of ways to to play the objective fight, especially the first turtle. You can trade with the damaged junglers. That's why you've seen like the downfalls of the Tannies, because they're very multiple objective dependent with the purple buff and then also the the turtle. Now you're seeing more of the Bakshas, more of the Fredrins, and the flex picks. And I think that's one of the the key factors as to why this meta is not really diverse in a sense, but kind of like diverge away from the previous meta, wherein you allow more utility, more macro in the game rather than just completely brawling in the late game. There's more ways to play the game now in the early stages of the game.
Especially with the higher level teams here in MPLID, that is so true. You're seeing a bit of a multifaceted approach in the late game. Usually it's a pretty textbook situation where, okay, you control the waves. If you control the waves, you win the lore dance. But now, especially with teams like RRQ, like Onic, you're seeing them find ways in the rotations, in who they send. They find these small changes, small little strategies that allow for more of the balance to swing in their favor. Even when they don't really have the wave control, they'll find ways to maybe dive in, go for a fight instead, right? So now that there are just multiple answers to a similar problem, teams that know how to pick the right one just have so much more of an advantage, and that comes with experience. So in theory, oh man, I think Onic has a bit more of an advantage when it comes to that late game.
Speaking of advantage, both teams will have their advantageous sides, right? For Onic, it's always been the red side. Yeah,
Oh, boy.
that red side. But
Yeah.
for Kescute, for the longest time, it's always been the blue side.
Yeah.
We're gonna see two masterminds at work. You know, this is the battle that we really wanted to see in the regular season, but we'll go all the way to a best of 5. The fact that we finally get a best of 5 between Kescute and Yeb, I really think this is a time where we can really shut up about, oh, bad drafts. Oh, why would you go for that pick? You know?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I really like where Onic is at right now in terms of like strategy-wise. Like, there's a lot of different compositions that Coach Yeb could pull off. But for RRQ, again, as you've said in their interview, they've exposed themselves with saying that they've hidden strategies. But so far, Onic has revealed theirs. The question is, how many does Coach Yeb has in his own pocket? Because right now they are the clear advantage, being on the red side as well. They could eliminate some of the heroes of Sutsujin, effectively blocking some of the comfort picks here for RRQ.
Yeah, and now we are in the drafting phase presented by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. Again, the Fanny just not seeing the light of day. And that Masha, is that deliberately banned because they were able to see that Luo Yi Masha combo and that Ludwig was able to rack up 11 kills against the LID?
We've seen a lot of teams really respect Ludwig's potential on the Masha. And in fact, I think we were, when we at midnight, when we were watching Onic, I think in day number 1, right? We talked to Dalar a little bit. Shout out Dalar.
Yeah.
And he was saying
Dalar.
that, the Masha has so much potential here. So,
Ooh.
oh man, Baksha though.
Yeah, that's a good start. I think RRQ is gonna flex here. They're not showing their cards right away, but Baksha is such a power pick because you can flex it to both EXP and Rogue, and also give it to Sutsujin if Onic decides to eliminate all assassins.
But Mirko, why is, in this match, Baxia let go? Because previously we've seen the Baxia completely banned Ultra Ego against Geek Time, and even in the previous days.
They want to battle it out, right? And obviously there's more respect than just the Baksha.
Yeah.
I would say Baksha usually is a very, usually picked up by teams who don't have more ways to win the game. Like, you only have Baksha. We saw that from Alter Ego, Bigatron as well. Very one-dimensional teams tend to go for the Baksha. And this is the reason I say it's kind of weird for RQ. Usually they always start the draft with a Kalea, a Joy, a normal strat. Whoa! They've gone for the 1-1, the Farsa here. And again, for the Baksha, why it's so weird is because RQ have only picked it up once in the regular season. This is what we heard from the players yesterday. They've been hiding strats for the longest time, and now they finally get to show it against probably the best in Indo.
And take a look at this, dude. For the longest time, I think we've seen from RRQ, they don't really show the gold and mid lane this early. But now that they've done so, jungle, gold lane, and mid, the picks they're hiding right now is the Roam and the EXP. And we all know, Daiwan Edok, man, a world-class combo.
That's nice, Mirko. Is this Ling good against the Farsa, or is there even more layers to this?
Midnight, both, right? I mean, 1-1 and Farsa, this is crazy value.
Yeah. I mean, as a Ling main, I'd also want to play into that trio. Like, there's no stun yet. Like, there's no surefire for RQ to actually lock down the Ling. But one thing that they have is the threat of the objectives, right? Like, purple is going to be very, very important here for RQ if they do get that early advantage. So it begs the question, will RQ force the Baksha into the jungle role? Because that also encompasses the second phase. Now you bring in the question, Roam or EXP? Will RQ put Baksha on EXP? Because now Onic has a damaged jungle. That means Lutpi has to be sort of like a tank setter for Onic. And for RQ, if the Baksha is a jungle, you could pick up the damage, but Tyron is better on setter tank. So again, it kind of begs the question here for RQ. Where do you actually put the Baksha?
Yeah, I think the Badang is a good choice to go for here, again in the XP lane, but I think a solid choice to go for too would be a possible Lucas in the jungle. That gets banned out straight away as I say that. The setup was there with Valentina. Another thing I want to bring up for RRQ is the fact that here, I think they open themselves up to a possible Phobius pick. Ling, Parrot, both going to be countered in a way, especially in the early game with a Farsa 1-1 and Baksha. It already looks like RRQ want a snowball from the start.
They certainly have the tools available for the job, and immediately, right, the thoughts go straight towards Edok on that roaming position. A lot of teams have spent multiple bans to try and shut down his hero pool, but his signature heroes as of right now are still left open. Onic playing a dangerous game right here.
Yeah, Onic might have likely wanted that blue pick for their side. Would be good against Farsa and 1-1. But Hilda is still available here for Lutpi, and also the CC pickup that could be taken from both sides. RRQ go on a second phase again. Badang is looking like very good here, very good against the Ling. Quite annoying to play against into because there's a lot of like mini crowd control that he can dish out, and it also acts like a secondary wall alongside the Baka, Farsa, and the 1-1.
One of the picks that Onic can go for, they take the Phobius away. Good deny pick. That could have really been, I think, the nail in the coffin in this draft had they not picked it up. Again, this is pretty value for Onic too. They're up against the 1-1. The only concern I have is the instant burst if the Phobius walks up in for the pursuit right into Farsa, right into the box shell, locking him down. And I think RRQ, despite the Harith, can still go for something like a Gatot Kacha if they want to play safe.
Yeah, I agree. And they've played 3 times the Gatot Kacha yesterday. And Edok has been really phenomenal on catching these heroes that are all out of position and could be useful against Onic. But right now, I think Gatot Kacha and also like putting the box shot on the jungle, and there goes the CC.
CC against the Phobius. Obviously, it's a kind of siding for CC as well, but the Gatot Kacha. Any thoughts on this pick, Arashi?
Now to Gacha, I think I would prefer on something a bit more dynamic, but considering the needs of the team right here, they do require a bit more frontline. They need ways to deter Onic from walking up straight towards that backline. So I think it's a great option to have an aggressive tool, but also a defensive zoning tool.
Mirko, you might hate me for this, but I think Faramis is good here.
Honestly, I see it too, right? They just really want to dive in. I feel like it's okay, especially against the 1-1.
Yeah.
But there's so much AoE. Once you get silence, this is going... Remember, your comp needs momentum. You get silence in a team fight, you have a few seconds where you're down.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. I think they might have to go for a risky Eve instead. They go for the Eve. There you go.
Okay, that wraps up the draft, and now it's up to Chefin and Gani to bring in the hype. Take it, casters!
Wow, a very interesting draft has been concluded between Cascute and Coach Yep. Gani, early prediction as an Onic fan.
You know what? I really like the draft coming from RRQ, but you know that last pick, that Eve, yeah, very stable. And let's see, I just want to see and watch and enjoy, man. Game 1, jump into the Land of Dawn.
Yep, this could go either way, ladies and gentlemen. These are the teams that has been dominating Indonesia for the longest time, and they are here in Jakarta International Velodrome. A chance for a shot at one of the most prestigious Mobile Legends stage. 2 kings who reigns over Indonesia. But today, there can only be one ruler here in MPL Indonesia Season 15 playoffs. Who's gonna book an early ticket to Riyadh? Will it be Onic or RRQ Hoshi?
Let's just jump into the Land of Dawn. Let's watch for game 1, and let's see here. Early spell check though. I don't think like something out of the norm. Alright, so 2 Purify. Siren opted for a Purify. Keyboy though, 1 HP very early. Is able to space out though.
Well, the fact that he didn't spend the flicker at all shows you the kind of bravado that Keyboy has. And Sutsujin in a true Baksha fashion already invading the jungles of Sutsujin. Salvero might be solo killed here, Toy. Just a sliver HP away. But we're gonna take a look at the emblem by IndieHome. Again, nothing too crazy. Again, pull yourself together. The usual 1-1 thing that people are going for. A lot more cooldown on the Wind of Nature to come, and also that Inspire that they really need.
Seems like trade-wise, it has been favoring for RRQ, right? But nothing too fatal, nothing too lethal as well. Still, there is no kill. Let's see here though, as we are entering the first turtle fight.
Yeah. Speaking of first turtle fight, it's gonna be interesting because we're talking about Phobius here. A hero that pretty much almost guarantee you to have a good zoning. Well, we gotta wait for a second though.
That's gonna be the first engage. Keyboy pops his flicker calmly. That's expensive info though, before the first turtle fight.
Yeah, it is expensive for Keyboy. He's gonna have to secure level 4 first before it's gonna be relevant in the team fight. Ludwig also spend that flicker, so a lot more resources for RRQ before the fight. As Rin's already secured that level 4, he's gonna be able to poke sounds to the ground here. And Sutsujin is gonna secure this one freely, and
Yeah.
Kai will just back off and play it safe. And just like Kingdom's fashion, Donnie, the crowd roars.
Almost a solo kill by Sans there. Rins was able to get out without using the Purify. And yeah, seems like Sutsujin will be aggressive. Lutfi though, Onic, they want to fight for a V3 as of yet. That's going to be the Tempest Blade connecting onto it. Sutsujin, the damage will be enough to take first blood as Keyboy will take it. Kyrie now out of position. Kyrie punish him. And that's 2 kills on the board for Onic. Might be more as Lutfi taking care of Rins, and that's going to be Edok taunting Kyrie. Turn by time perhaps, and that's going to be Kyrie not over aggressive.
It does look like a good invade there coming in from RRQ, but in the end, the quick thinking, quick response from the whole Onic team, knowing that they are trapped in their own jungle, was able to capitalize this and punishes the whole team of RRQ. Talent prediction though by Gope, it looks like it's gonna be a close one, but maybe we gotta shed some light towards Midnight's prediction, because he's the guest here. 3-2 for Onic. Oh
my goodness. Kai caught early on. Great connection between Rinza and Sutsujin there, and Kyrie will fall.
Yeah. That's, I believe, Toy secured the gold crab. This has been an interesting battle in the gold. Salvador is on towards very early.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be the crossbow Tang on towards Keyboy though. AOG defensively, but Toy isolated and will be taken down. Sutsujin looking for an angle on towards Salvador under the turret. Great cover as Keyboy will be the sacrificial lamb. It's a 1-for-1 for Onic.
The pendulum swings quickly here in the Battle of the Kings. Already, the gold swing favors RRQ as of now. Good response once again. And these are the sense of 2 elite teams, Gani, finally fighting it out in the playoffs. You can see it's always quick. They're always quick on the uptake when something needs to be done. As Sutsujin might secure another objective here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Onic will take a risk, right? I think they will look elsewhere to find compensation. But yeah, for now, all is well. RRQ getting the second neutral objective.
And it's going to help them by a lot. Because when you think about it, the late game composition here from Onic, they have a Harith and they have a really good backline diver here in Kyrie. And we know this guy is absolutely amazing on this mechanical hero. It's one of his signatures. And Yep trusted him to pull off this sling and take care of 2 backliners of RRQ. Might be a bit too much to chew for Kai here. B-Boy, Tsunami Slam, and that's a Purify by Rinse.
No, that's going to be info though. No Purify, and Severo just pops his Shaman Force to clear top.
Whoa!
Care of. That's going to be a taunt on towards 1. Sans now flicker out of danger. No way! It's going to be a 3v3 as Soy jumps in. Has the Inspire as well, but RRQ, they will not commit more.
Wow. The fact that Onic didn't really panic at all was actually amazing. Sans with a good flicker, and the whole team didn't really just try to back up Onic. Instead, they're just trying to play it safe here because they know RRQ definitely has the lead in economy and also items. Looking at what they've secured right now, especially for Sutsujin, a lot of emphasis towards the magic defense, knowing that San is going to be there, and he is, in a way, a main threat for these guys, the frontliners of RRQ and Salvero. The more the game goes on, once he secures that Divine Glaive, it's gonna be crazy. Sans!
RWM just get out of the knockup, but Dyron has enough damage to take him down. That's gonna be Edok, the only trade for now, but Rins actually will fall as well. Shaman Force pops on towards Dyron and Sutsujin, but they were able to hold off to that damage. Toy, that's gonna be a turret on towards RRQ. Onic, they responded too much in the mid.
Yeah. Mid lane trade there, and Edok traded for a turret in the bottom lane. I would say that favors RQ just a little bit for that map pressure, and the fact that Edok is the one that goes down. He is the rover of RRQ. And now Sutsujin very quick on the uptick. RQ, Toy already secured that crossbow tank drop. Does he want to play?
Rins from the mid, Feather Airstrike pops. Kyrie looking for an angle to find a steal. Seems like, oh my goodness, damage will not be enough there as Baksha will secure the perfect turtle for RRQ. AOD under the turret. That's going to be a stun. That's gonna be a knock up as well.
Oh, Slam Slam on towards the RW by Sun!
Under the turret as well, but that's gonna be the damage coming through. It's still RRQ claiming the bodies of Lutfi. The only trade is just C-Dog.
Oh my goodness. It is a brawl server indeed, but we got some good brawl here from both teams. They're not letting up. They're not really want to lose this game, of course, because the stakes are higher than ever. A ticket to EWC.
Let's wait and see here, folks. 7 minutes in. 2K in the back for RRQ. 3 turtles, and yeah, Onic, they're still behind. If you take a look at the level lead that Syzygy has, it's just level. So yeah, Kyrie needs to work in that department. And let's see what he will bring to equalize or do to equalize that gap.
Yeah, just a little item check here. Toy, it seems like he's gonna go for that crit 1-1 build towards the Hoskloss and Berserker's Fury as the game goes on. I think that's a good decision, knowing that Kyrie will be on his back a lot of times, and you can trade with the basic attack much better when you use the gotta wait up for a second.
Sans RWM flicker as well. That's gonna be Sans repositioning Toy, looking for an angle. That's gonna be Keyboy though, overextending and will be punished. This time around, it will be Savero pushing the inner turret top lane. RRQ though, they have a free mid.
It's always a trade. This is what I love about this game so far. There's no one, yes, RRQ right now is leading in gold, but when you see the skirmish, when you see the exchange they've done in this game, it's always intellectual, not just pointless brawl in the playoffs in MPL Indonesia, because right now it's RRQ and Onic in Jakarta International Velodrome. But yeah, back to my point earlier about the items, it looks like Sans is gonna go for an early Wishing Lantern, knowing that Rinse and Edok will be his main target along with Tyron. And he needs to play that front to back, especially for Salvador as well. RRQ, they want to chase. Lutfi might be for extending. Keyboy.
Oh, that's gonna be Keyboy looking for an engage. It's just C-Dog though, so no commitment on the Tsunami Slam. Kyrie around the top area. That will delay though on the lower take. Yeah, far lane is the RRQ who has the prio, and yeah, Kyrie shows and RRQ, they start to pull the trigger.
Yep. AOG, the Sans gonna get jumped on.
No flicker, Sans taken down. Lutfi now trying to buy time in front lane, will be taken down. Crossbow a tank, Tempest later response. Rinse goes down.
Oh wow.
Kyrie very low and will be taken down by Toy, who claims the double, and that's gonna be Onic. 2 members only up.
It's only Salvador and Keyboy. I don't think they want to contest this one at all. Syzygy does not have the retribution, but no Onic players is in sight, and that is a green light for RRQ to take this one. And it looks like they want to wait just for a second to kind of handle the wave. 10 seconds, and it's going to come in the 40-second mark, along with Rinse and Syzygy. Will try to recall and heal just a little bit, and RRQ have the full firepower to be able to burst through some of these inner turrets that Onic has.
Amazing stuff, RRQ. They were able to have a great foundation, build a great early game foundation, and they were able to just translate it towards the mid game.
Yeah, Jakarta International Velodrome is packed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not here, you are missing out. You can go here for free, by the way. The festivals is amazing too. And now this match is nothing short of amazing as well. Keyboy secured an early winter crown instead of the fleeting time, knowing that he has to somehow tank up that crossbow tank, and it's very likely that Toy will be able to proc it down to the frontliners of Onic.
Let's wait and see. Onic behind 4K. They need to defend this first lord. They have the Holy Shields, and let's see how RRQ actually execute this push.
Yeah. Decent wave clear for Onic, for Sans, and also Salvador, but it is Kyrie, so he has to, if you want to be useful in this kind of situation, he has to somehow, split push and take down like a single minion wave for him to be able to make a big difference. Keyboy though, that's a lot of damage. Oh, almost taken down. Oh my goodness! What was that? That is Rinse with an early Divine Glaive.
Lethal ignition as well, and that was Keyboy just miscalculating the damage.
And I think he knows the fact that he only has the robe, and it's not enough to counter the early game or mid-game damage for Renz here.
Big mistake. Let's see, will that mistake cost game one? AOG under the turret. That's a great taunt by Ludwig. One more Onic member taken out. RRQ, they will not be hasty. They will back away.
Yeah, Kyrie just, you can only watch in this kind of situation, man, because it's a Ling. It's not a hero that you're supposed to engage in the first second. You gotta wait for your teammates to be able to burst down or chunk up some of his HP, some of the opponent's HP away a bit, and then Kyrie will jump in with Tempest of Blade. It's a bit hard. 6k and counting for RRQ once they got full control of the map here. But Kyrie, this is a problem that RRQ needs to address too, because in terms of long lane presence, RRQ does not have a lot here. Yes, Tyrant can definitely solo lane in a far lane, but Ling will be able to make a difference if there is a 4v5 or a 4v4 in the strong lane. Kyrie will be there in a second compared to Tyrant.
Yeah, and it seems like, right, Onic, looking at the map, I think they want to contest this Lord, which I don't think is wise.
Oh.
That's gonna be engaged though. Real world manipulation pops. T-Boy flickers out. That's gonna be Severo.
Oh!
Shaman Force, Toy taken down. Now Kai jumps in towards the back, wins, being the main target. That's gonna be Tempest of Blade connecting on towards 3, but the damage will not be enough just yet. RRQ repositions Edok now with the counterplay. Alongside Darren finds the double. Edok will be the only trade. 3 for 2.
Oh my goodness,
Shaman Force pops. That's gonna be RRQ down with the feather airstrike almost locking the Pharaoh down. RRQ still applying pressure.
Despite Toy going down in the first second, RRQ capitalizes. And right now, they have the green light towards the Lord as well. It's an evolved Lord, and Kyrie, if he wants to win this game, if Onic wants to win this game, there's gotta be some Kyrie magic in the building. And it's hard to pull off.
Yeah.
He is without a purple buff, and that is Ling.
Take a look
His
at the
potential halved.
Take a look at the read as well, right?
Oh
Rinse
my lord.
immediately rotates towards their own purple buff. That's gonna be a free Lord. Let's see though, Onyx high ground, not too shabby.
Yeah.
But they lost already 2 base turrets.
Yeah, but the thing is, Gani, Keyboy will look for someone to Tsunami Slam. And I cannot think of a good target here. Keyboy will be pretty much someone that burns a Purify or a spell from the opposing team. Edok gets caught up, just AOG away. Tyrant still has a Purify. Suchujin, do you really want to go for a turtle that's already snowballing and has a lot of items? So, Keyboy, like, what's the plan here?
I'd say Lord marching mid. Will this be the final push of game 1? Toy, half HP, that's gonna be Tsunami Slam under the base. Edok, revitalized pops. Toy destroying the base, that's gonna be Edok taken down. Lord will be taken care of. It's a look, be bursted down by Dyron. That's gonna be Keyboy falling next. Wind of Nature, but too soon. Kai finds the angle and takes Toy down.
Kai once again being the savior of Onic. Sabino goes in, Kai again!
Oh my goodness! Both going at it, both trading blows. Sutsujin very low. Can Sans pull the trigger? The answer for now is no. As RRQ, they have cracked open the base, but Onic, they have defended.
They have defended, but advantage is definitely still on RRQ, especially with all the turrets are taken away from Onic. 4k, that's a gold swing for Onic, so that is a silver lining for the Porcupines, but I don't know if they're going to be able to use it properly in this later part of the game. Real-time victory rate, that seems about right. 85% to 15%. The odds are against the Sky Kings.
Let's see. Minute number 16. So we're 2 minutes away for the next Evolved Lord. Question is, RRQ, will they wait for that Evolved Lord?
Timing. I would say yes, because it's only a minute and they can afford extra 30 seconds to kind of like delay. And RRQ right now, they have a pretty safety lead, I gotta say, especially from the map. And you can see there in the in-game equipment by Dunia Games, the main difference here is the EXP laner pretty on brand for a CC against a Phoveus. CC clears the lane much faster when he has the item, and also that Sea Halberd will come in handy against some of the healers or some of the guys that has a shield proc from Onic.
Uh-oh, that's a good taunt. That's a set. Keyboy flickers out. Feather airstrike, everything. Tsunami slam onto Tsujin, but that's gonna be the Buisan's in response. Oh my goodness! The all-in from RRQ will finally find Keyboy in the back lane. Tempest to Blade. Toy can his Wind of Nature. Good night. As Savero is cleaning house in the back. Tsujin falling. 3 members out of nowhere taken out.
RRQ is overzealous, and Kyrie once again being the executor of Onic. That was a beautiful RWM by Sans. Maybe, just maybe, Toy needs to stack up with the magic defense because that was a bit too much damage. I do not know if a single, Rose Gold Meteor is enough for him to be able to handle Sans and Savero.
Let's see, Sans now half HP, winner crown ball by Tsujin. Onic, they might commit this Lord as Savero is using his Salmon Force to shield the members of RRQ. Mind you, that was the Lord not involved just yet.
Oh, how does Onic do this, man? This is the MSC Champ Composer, as we're gonna take a look at the replay presented by Samsung Galaxy S25 series. You can see there, Keyboy kind of acts like a bait, and the RWM damage is absolutely insane. I thought Eve is not really a burst type mage, but apparently when you don't have enough magic defense, it kind of turns into one.
Let's say the 15% odds are now doing the offense, ladies and gentlemen. Lord marching top.
There you go.
Onic just playing it rather slow. Kyrie is busy doing work in the bottom side, so let's see how RRQ handle this wave.
Oh, Ludwig might be on the receiving end of RRQ's onslaught, but it looks like they want to back off just a bit, knowing that Keyboy, pretty much the whole team of Onic is ready to back him up. And by the way, Toy finally secured that Athena shield. That's a game changer, I gotta say.
That is, that's an angle. Tsunami Slam will not connect though, as the Purify was triggered by Rins. Again, Onic playing it slow with this Lord push. They want to take everything surely, but slowly.
Yeah, especially they want to take that purple buff for Kyrie, because that's what a Ling needs, to be able to be super aggressive to the backliners of RRQ. The Lord is crashing down Keyboy. Didn't pop this Tsunami Slam just yet. He's still picking his targets.
Let's see, half HP on the Lord, and that's gonna be Iron now. Sandbagging the front. Oh my goodness! The damage will be enough to take him down! Tempest of Blade, Wind of Nature pop, that's gonna be Toy! Now Roscoe attempt to win their crown! Ladies and gentlemen, it was 85 to 15, but Onic, they find game 1.
Odds do not matter to the Sky King as they come down to the earth to show the King of Kings how it's done. First blood goes to Onic.
Yellow Porcupines was able to find all the angles, the win cons, and RRQ, they fell short.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you, we got a series in our hands. That was pretty close. But the fact that Onic was able to hold the base despite them losing all the turrets is nothing short of miraculous. This is the prime Onic that we've always remembered. The season 11, the 4 beat champs, and this is their ground. This is their home turf. Jakarta International Velodrome was once theirs 1 year ago, and it might be theirs this year as well.
Just another step, right? Another step for that grand final. It's a step for MSC. Let's see though. It was just game 1, Sheffield.
That's what I said. We got a series in our hands. And all the Onyx fans, all the Sonics, definitely happy to see this turnaround. 15% for the AI prediction win rate. But this is a bunch of humans that do not know when to give up. The Winter Crown was a huge game changer for Onic. That's a counter towards Toy. And in fact, Toy got toyed around in the late game. Ludpi, the whole team of Onic popped off. But this is the job for our panelists to break down. A lot to break down, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Yes. Absolute cinema. Bamboozled. Gobsmacked. Every word gobsmacked in the dictionary out there, because that was one fight back from the Sky Kings. They take game number 1 of this upper bracket match. How are you feeling, Arashi? You okay?
A bit sad, but it is what it is. I am a bit concerned though, because I feel like if you just read into the intentions, it seems like RRQ trying to steal away the initiative, right? Show this this fighter style that we haven't seen RRQ use, right? We were talking about how Sutsujin hasn't really played the Baksha at all,
Yeah.
and then they bring it out. They were doing so well, they didn't get it done though. And I feel like if that is the intention, to start off strong, to kind of set the tone, then this is gonna be a tough loss, you know, for game 1, but also for the mental state of the players of RRQ as well.
Yeah, it's a good start. Honestly, like, exploiting strategy like this, something that you've never done in the regular season, not even once in the playoffs. And this is RQ stepping out of their comfort zone to pull off a game like this against Onic. I think it's promising. It's just that, again, late game Ling, especially in the hands of Kyrie, you know, gonna suffer a same fate.
Commendable.
Oh boy.
Commendable, but obviously the MVP presented by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. It's the man in the mid lane. It's Gila-san. Mirko, talk to me about his performance in that match.
I'm gonna push my agenda of the anti-Faramis group even further now.
I'm
If
sorry,
that was
by
a
the way.
Faramis, that was gonna be a cooked game for sure. Sans, put him on a damage dealer. Put your mid laners on a damage dealer, please. Top 3 teams, please. Just see how much impact you could have. They really forgot about Sans, by the way. We called in the early parts of the draft that RQ were really looking for the snowball, Wanwan, Baksha, and the Farsa, and they were able to get that. That's why you could see that Onic were really struggling in the early game. They had some solid components to hold them in the early game, like the Kalea, I'd say the Yves mid prio, and also the Phobias. But for Onic, the main win condition is still the late game. Harith and Ling, and it's also the way that they played around the Yves plus the Harith. Why the Yves gets so much value here is because with the real world manipulation, you're putting the immobility field in the box of the Zaman Force as well. So you get double value when you lock people down. I think big ways that RK have been able to outplay in this game has been how they've been able to kite away from Severo's Zaman Force. Here, one small mistake, overextending just one play, and you get punished. This is, I think, Onic always in BH and ID the way they play. They take a centimeter and they go for a mile.
Yeah.
And if you look at how they were playing there, like for RRQ, after a while, when they didn't seem to recognize that Onic can now strike back, have reached that gold equilibrium to actually try and fight back with the items with the damage output in the late game. So again and again, you see Toy kind of left out alone, and Kyrie having space to actually operate, do at least a decent amount of damage, if not take out one member from RRQ and then get out. Whereas in the early game, and especially in the mid game, when RRQ were just moving forward and there was no real safe zone for Onic, you see that he got chased down again and again and was pressured for the most part. So I feel like his pressure there that kind of put Toy further away from the rest of Onic, kind of slowed down the damage output from RRQ overall as well. And I feel like that was a big component in how Onic eventually were able to just out-damage and outlast the late game coming in from RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah, to be fair though, let's be honest here, like RQ had that game. There was just a timer, a deadline for RQ to finish.
Yep.
When they took the Lord, they failed to push the top lane. But in all honesty, this was RQ's game. Even though Onic had the first blood, they had the 2 kills. We were talking backstage, they were cooked. RQ was cooked because the Link was gonna scale, but they were doing so many good moves on the side of RQ, like pressuring side lanes, pressuring the purple. The Farza was doing so much damage onto the backside, and Onic had to just rely on a split push game from Savero and Kyrie. But RQ Hoshi, again, there was this problem with this composition that when you go for a team fight, you have to be very precise on how you engage, because you are going to be under the pressure of the real world manipulation. Mobility is not your best friend, because this lineup has reach, but disengage is something that is already being taken out of the equation because of the Zaman Force. Now add the real world manipulation to the equation. Positioning is important for RQ, and where RQ faltered is the positioning in the team fight in the late game.
Wow. I mean, the way they played it was just perfect. I agree with you. It looked like Onic were cooked, but because they were holding so well, they kept their base turrets. Yes, Keyboy died. There were a lot of flashy plays from RQ. It almost felt very, very stable despite it all.
Yeah.
We kind of knew that, especially after getting the Lord, it would have to be, especially after it would have to be, especially I think after the second Lord, it would have to be an Evolve Lord to really end the game, to really
Right.
give RRQ the final push over. A long period of time and constantly deal CC, constantly heal your players.
Yeah.
Even the phobias, all the longer fighting abilities, all the longer fighting tanks are usually what we go for.
Yeah.
That's why we don't see Minsathar, Odette, and also Kaja. One
On
Kaja.
Rome.
On Rome.
On Rome.
On Rome, right? On Rome. In jungle we saw it.
But the most OP pick out of everyone. Yeah. Barrage.
Barrage. It can swing a game from
Janganlah disampai ballerina. Kau mau nyampak kok jangan bentang ini.
7. Dari Om Walid Kekasih Gelap Acol, pesan, pada viewer Om pengen klarifikasi minggu depan ayang Acol lamar Om di Malaysia.
Mimpi kok Om Walid, mimpi. Kepala otak kau bodoh, ya. Lamar kau bodoh. Kepala daki kau bajingan.
Dari Walid Setia, pesan, Walid mau burung Acol boye.
Tak boleh, bangsat. Tak boleh. Walid kepala otak kau.
Bintang 6 kau Amir, bintang 6 kau.
25.000
Alay
dari Walid
anjing.
Setia, pesan, Walid mau remes pan Akol boye.
Dari kilatan.
25.000 dari Pardi, pesan, cek kodam aku bang sekalian cek kodam nenekku dan juga cek kodam tetanggaku dan juga pak kebonku ya.
Bapak di banyak kali sekeluarga longor.
25.000 dari Yoga, pesan, untuk panitia kurban kenapa sapinya masih di sini tolong tangkap sapinya ini panitia kurban.
Bintang 6 juga, bapakku satu kelas itu waktu SMA bintang 6. Apa yang ngajari bapak naik sepeda motor baru? Udah besar kau sekarang kau jadi anak durhaka kau bangsat ya idiot. Bintang 6.
Dari Marco Biang, pesan, butoh pahang keratua cek kodamku.
Kodam kamu itu kepiting Alaska ketua. Kamu kalau berlari tanpa menggunakan alas kaki, kecepatanmu mencapai 1000 meter per kubik ketua. Thank you ketua.
25.000 dari Kasat Reskrim Medan, pesan, tolong kau add itu semua yang dah bayar buat mabar dokter minggu lalu kalau gak kami lapor sel penipu.
Iya siap ketua. Persebut.
Janganlah disampai ballerina. Kau mau nyampak kok jangan bintang ini. Kotor kali kau nyapa sama aku.
Tujuh, dari Om Walid Kekasih Gelap Acol, pesan, pada viewer Om pengen klarifikasi minggu depan ayang Acol lamar Om di Malaysia.
Mimpi kok Om Walid, mimpi. Kepala otak engkau bodoh, ya. Lamar kau yang bodoh. Kepala daki kau bajingan.
25.000 dari Vito Garut, pesan, Bang pas kolen ngomong bujang 6 sama alakon ke dosen aneh yang orang Medan kok aneh digampar dia.
Gak boleh ya, sopan ya Vito Garut ya, sopan ya. Kau bilang kemarin kau nggak kuliah, sekarang kau bilang kuliah. Mana yang benar oi Vito? Anakmu aja udah mau masuk tentara, kenapa kau kuliah?
50.000 dari Vito Garut, pesan, Takeru mabar ketua.
Iya mabar ketua.
Para penjahat, jangan harap aku mengampuni kalian.
Santai. Iya mabar ketua.
Para penjahat, jangan harap aku mengampuni kalian.
Santai. Iya mabar ketua.
Para penjahat.
Iya mabar ketua.
Para penjahat, jangan harap aku mengampuni kalian.
Santai, nice ballerina.
25.000 dari Jovi, Pesan, leher store gak bisa top up diamond MC Gogo payah kali.
Bisa, lu salah ID, kan ada servernya itu. Kepala bapak dia lah guys. Astaga, musuhnya kuat banget, anjing.
Ribuannya si Budang ini guys.
Dari Walid Setia, pesan, Walid mau burung acol boye.
Nggak boleh bangsat, nggak boleh. Walid kesalah otak kau. Wah, bisa nyiram.
Makan tuh burung longor. Santai bro.
Semoga cahaya bulan selalu menyinari kita.
Astaga, dapat tuh anjing.
Dapat loh.
Tujuh, dari Om Walid kekasih gelap Acol, pesan, ayang Acol tega yang ngak mau lamar Om padahal Om udah siapin kamar istimewa untuk kita adu mekanik.
Sadar diri kau, Om Walid Budang Inam. Bangsat ini capek nih Om Walid dari ini guys.
Santai dulu bang, santai.
Panasku adalah jawaban.
25.000, dari Baba, pesan, ketua leher 1 mm coba cek hodam aku.
Ya Baba, kodam kamu pun ya ketua ya.
Para penjahat jangan harap kalian.
Balik ketua.
Pesan, Bang Pascal bilangin ke call boye.
Budang Inam Walid.
Bulan menyinari.
OTW atas.
Rp25.000, dari Sion, pesan, Bang Pascal bilangin ke Rina jangan garuk hidungnya terus nanti tajam.
Semua yang terjadi biar terjadi. Semua hadapi dengan tenang jiwa. Semua kan baik-baik saja. 90. Apa 90?
Tadi 890 katanya. Apa 90 itu bang? Kekalahanmu.
Budang enam, keluar kau babi. Budang enam.
Asik.
Rp150.000, dari Someone, pesan, asikin dulu ke
90.
Semoga cahaya bulan selalu menyinari kita.
Oke, sakit kali. Balik. 90. Pede banget dia bilang 90 guys. Gue salah dibawa ke sini bujang.
25.000, dari Bos LC, pesan, ketua kata-kata buat orang yang suka channel L1.
Ketua kata-kata buat orang yang suka col. Kurang-kurangi ya abang ya. Aku juga pernah di posisi itu. Aku akan berpikir kalau aku adalah Ultraman, tapi mereka nggak pernah percaya. Ingat ketua, jagalah kutub utara agar hatimu tetap
dari Vito
santuy
Garut,
ketua.
pesan, Vito Hodam kamu itu, Itachi Uchiha kamu itu cowok yang penuh pengorbanan dan baik hati sayang ade.
Alay banget cop, dia sendiri yang cek kodam anjing.
Menghilang ke dalam cahaya rembulan.
Santai.
25.676, dari Sutioso, pesan, ayo bertumbuk kita ketua.
Gak boleh ya, damai ya, cinta damai ya.
Kau tidak bisa lari dari
Buang.
$150.000 dari Bonda Nauli, pesan, angkat si.
Jangan anak guys, jadi dalam guys, tetap joget. Apa orang ini?
$50.000 dari Tante Bel, pesan, Keratua tebak tante lagi di mana kalau bisa nyawer Keratua.
Toilet. Tante Bella lagi di toilet. Bel. Makasih lo Bel. Jangan lupa istirahat Bel.
Cahaya bulan selalu menandang kita.
Kalau weh.
$25.000 dari Reza, pesan, Ketua tolong ganti hodamnya Nathan yang kau bilang parutan wortel kasih yang lebih bagus Ketua.
Ketua tolong ganti kodamnya Nathan.
And the Kalea, the steal as well from Suns against Rins. Now Rins is forced to play like the utility mages now, which is still good at, if he gets his hands on the Eves. Unfortunately, the Zushin is banned out, but it locks in that that damage for Onic and also stealing away from RQ. Now, question is for RQ with the Baxter strategy, what do you pick on Rins that deals enough damage in the early game to sort of like make sure that you also get the control in the early stages again for for Toy?
It's so good, by the way, like the Farsa steal here. They go for the Kalea earlier, they went for the Harith with the Kalea. Now, they go for the Farsa. We get the response of the Valentina, which I think is pretty solid. You steal away for the airstrike, and you will technically have a way to deal with the Harith if it's still picked up. But they go for the Irithel instead. This is, again, what Onic did to GeekFam too. It's just in a different way. GeekFam made a mistake where they didn't go for the jungle, or sorry, they didn't go for the gold lane in the early phase. And then we saw the Irithel pick, the ban on Harith, the ban on Granger, the ban on Harith and Moscow to force the Granger or the Wanwan to come up for the opposing side. Now that they see the Granger, it's so easy for the Irithel, they swap it out again and they deal with the possible feathered airstrike counter to the Harith. Again, Onic, this is the refined Yeb. We're seeing the refined version of Yeb from game 1.
Yeah, actually both teams are doing fantastic in the drafting stage. Most of the Valentina third picks I hate, especially if you're not taking Lucas. But in this case, again, as Miracles mentioned, the feathered airstrike is such a good skill to steal for the Valentina, because you do need that damage in the early game. You have the locked up from the from the Baksha, and you also are supplementing into the early game of the Granger for Toy. So this is all in. This is the commitment of RQ. This is the strat that they've been trying to expose in game number 1. But this is more of a heavy commitment. Like, this is what they wanted in game 1.
Well, not to mention, if they want to be a bit more careful about the possibility of Kyrie on Assassin yet again, Tsunami Slam stolen away by the Valentina can be a great deterrent or even an extra playmaking tool when there is that kind of urgency depending on how this game goes. Although with the Joy banned away by RRQ here, that's an interesting move considering that they would probably want that as well, but they're probably concerned about Kyrie taking it away from them anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, the Frederick is still up for grabs, right? It's not banned out, so if they did want to play the Joy, I think that could be a possibility, but hey, they picked up the box, so I think that's going to fall in the hands of Sutsujin. Last ban for RRQ. Now, how do they wrap up the draft, right? Because I think RRQ, they have a solid base, but for Onyx, they have to be, wary of the Valentina.
I actually thought that it would be better for them to go up against Link than a Fredrin, because now if the Fredrin comes through for Onic, they have a solid front to back, and this also opens up a signature Luthi carry in the XP, which I think is a bit more dangerous than the Ling. It can have, with the Fredrin, you can technically also go for like the Arla. You destroy the front to back with just one final slash, and you overwhelm Rins with how many good ultimates you have. There's already a Farsa and a Kalea in the team. He's gonna have to choose between one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they were looking at the Fredrin pick, might as well take the CC now, because it's like you're gonna get stolen by RRQ. Now they take the CC because there's no Fred chance anymore for RRQ. You get the +1 pick for Onic, and this dives into that problem for RQ that your timer is now real. Like, you have to commit in the early game, you have to snowball, because if you don't, you're just gonna get, steamrolled on by the CC and the Irithel.
I don't know how crazy this is because it'll be greedy knowing that they already have a damage dealing XP, Farsa and Irithel. But technically if they want that insta-kill button, the Julian can still come up here in the
Oh! What?
Oh wow.
What?
Oh wow.
Yi Sun-shin, talk to me about this pick, Arashi.
Oh wow.
What is this?
That's what I want to ask everyone else. What is this?
What is this?
Huh?
Midnight Mirko, any thoughts?
I mean, the traceless, man, the change on the Yi Sun-shin, the amount of crowd control that you can get, and also the overall vision helps you just, get the early game advantage that you have, the snowball as well. You can see where the enemies are positioned at in the first turtle, because again, the global vision, trades are very hard for Onic to take in this game, especially with the YSS. The snowball arc you can get transitions to late game, because YSS is a scary hero if put in the jungle.
Hiding their strats. This is the strat that they've been hiding, I guess. Onic, what will it be? Alpha!
Alpha.
They really just want to end, like they really want to snowball through the early game, controlling neutral objective 1, turtle 1, and snowballing from it.
Yeah. Instead of the Fredrin though?
I think it's a better way to shred the Baksha, to be fair, right?
Exactly.
Fredrin,
True damage.
the sustain that you have gets kind of countered by the Baksha, so you go in before the Baksha can do that, and you try to just shred through.
You don't want to roam Baksha though. Not really the most playmaking hero, so we'll have to see RRQ with a whole different style. This is not the bread and butter strat they usually go for.
Oh, a surprise pick to enter game number 2. We'll toss it over to our casters, Gani and Jeffin. What do you think of the Yi Sun-shin?
Well, it seems like they're not lying when they say they're still hiding some picks away. 7th hero, yes, 7th hero of Sutsujin this season, the Yi Sun-shin. But the question is, will it come to fruition against the mighty Onic? We are on to game number 2.
Let's see if Onic will double their lead or will actually RRQ with the Yi Sun-shin equalize in this game. Let's watch and witness the Land of Dawn. Here we go.
Okay, quick spell check and also main emblem check there. Actually saw Mr. Kyrie going for a killing spree, so a lot more emphasis towards that survivability in the team fight. I guess when he gets a kill, but certainly a very ambitious emblem that is taking right now. And for Mr. Sutsujin, a very on-brand quantum charge. This is very peculiar. I'm wondering if they're just trying to snowball here, but I'm sure that Onic can do the same as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be a big question here in mid lane. Already an early recall. Edok trying to hold on towards that minion, but Onic, oh, Riverside, that's gonna be Sutsujin making a move, forcing Sans to use that flicker. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be Sans taken down. First blood for Sutsujin, as perhaps they might want more. No, that will be just the early pickoff.
On cue right away, it's Sutsujin. There was a play that he made on his own, feed Adok with the shield unity as well. But that was, I guess, like we can see the potential of the Yi Sun-shin that's gonna come through in this match. Even Sans pulled off the flicker and they were still able to chase down Gila. Sans Kyrie though already eyeing for Spear of Alpha here. And the objective take is gonna be a bit tricky because Kyrie is on the Alpha, but the set coming in from RRQ with this Edok Baksha, with this Dyran the down, will be amazing as well.
I mean, the new and improved YSS is still annoying, right? The Mountain Shocker still gives a lot of information regarding the whereabouts. Now it's going to be Kyrie on the turtle. Sutsujin looking for an angle. Kyrie still finds the turtle. Sutsujin goes down. That's going to be Edok. It's almost taken down with the Revitalize there. Helps a little bit with survivability. Rupee looking for an angle to escape. Rins providing damage off the flicker from Dyran. Extra 200 gold added for Dyran.
And also extra swagger as well, and that's why we've been saying that Dyran needs to have a set hero, and he actually can execute with those set hero as well. There's a reason why he is the first team in MPL Indonesia in season 15. But that's also shedding some light towards the weakness of Yi Sun-shin, Gani. Especially in this day and age, you want to have a jungler that can somehow sustain or just go in and go out. Hayabusa is one of them, Ling is one of them, but Yi Sun-shin, it's going to be a bit tricky. You have to be a bit more
reliant on towards your teammate to be able to make a play.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So Sujin now, I feel like all he needs to do is not show most of the time on the map just to get that farm ASAP, just to get that level 15 spike ASAP as well. Let's see though. It's still anybody's game here, first 3 minutes.
Still anybody's game. And a second objective will be up. Oh, Tsunami Slam right away.
Yeah.
But Purify's there.
That's going to be Purify, and Mountain Shocker popped earlier as well. That's going to be Enoch though, out of position with Vitalize. Oh, a great Spear of Alpha. It's just a roamer though, but that was a great response from Onic.
Get over here, said Kyrie. Sans though didn't want to take that trade with Rins, but beautiful punish there by the whole team of Onic, knowing that Edok has nowhere to go. Even though he has the Revitalize, even though he has that extra damage reduction. But when you're up against the turret aggro and the Alpha, which is a great pick by the way, it's gonna be bursted with those true damages. We're gonna take a look at this some of the win rates that's showing off just now. Boy 5 and 2 on the Kalea. So this is his bread and butter. Ludwig though.
Oh, that's a 3-man knockup from Keyboy. Finally finding Rins on the Tsunami Slam. He deleted first. That's going to be Keyboy soaking a lot of damage. Will be the trade as Savero joins in and will deal a lot of damage as Kyrie again finding the retribution. That's going to be Onic winning the fight and the trades.
Amazing from Onic. Now this is a whole different game from what happened in game number 1. It was RRQ in the early to mid game. Now Onic has the advantage. And Toy taking a lot of beating from Safero. This is something that we expected from the Granger and the Airthel combo. And also something that in a way we kind of expected with the Lee Sun-Shin as well, because you're going to be prone to getting bursted down if you're ever so slightly overextending, especially with the amount of punish that Onic has. Keyboy, Sans, pretty much everyone can punish, especially Kyrie. It doesn't matter how tanky RIQ's member are, he's still gonna get taken down.
Ludwig now isolated. Wow, what a fast setup there by RRQ. What? Onic will respond. That's gonna be Rins popping the Purify. Feather Airstrike does not land. Onic failed to find compensation.
Yeah, good one there coming from RRQ. They know that they have to get away from the crowd and somehow pick off with a Baxia, which they did beautifully on towards Ludwig. And that's something that RRQ maybe needs to abuse the next upcoming few minutes until Ludwig gets the defensive items.
All fine and dandy again. Tempo gone down. Gold just 500-ish between them. Not even. Oh, Keyboy. Great respawn there. RRQ committing 5 members towards the top side.
And once again, folks, it might seem like Onic is winning. It might seem that Onic has the answers to all the questions that RRQ is posing, but what happened in game number 1, they were up about 8k, 6k gold lead, but Onic came back.
Keyboy misses. Tsunami Slam though. That's gonna be Dyron. Now taken down almost. Flick Fear, but Severo finds the angle. Oh! The counter play from Rins, and Severo will be taken down. Enoch will fall, but that trade is just still favoring RRQ.
RKO from Rins. This is one of the concerns that I have when I see Savero on the sprints. Something that we've been addressing throughout the regular season. Sans though, Toy might be overextending here. 2 guys on him.
Let's see the angle. Now that's Purify popped. Ludwig surrounded by time, but Sans finds the finisher. But Sutsujin finds the trade. Now Ludwig alone. Dyron and Sutsujin will be able to finish him off, as that's going to be Keyboy a little bit late to the party. And that will be RRQ favorite. Just a bit from that trade.
You can call us the Brawl server all day long, but if the Brawls are like this, I'm happy to see the matches. 8-8 so far, 16 kills in a span of 8 minutes. This is Indonesia at its truest fashion. Rins though, some pokes towards Keyboy, and he actually takes the Tsunami Slam once again, because he knows that this is gonna be the main key for him to be, or for the RQ to be able to punish Savero without the Purify. Damage dealt. Sans, as usual, topping the charts. Sutsujin though, it's a bit of kind of a silent killer here. Didn't really see him that much during the team fights, but 5-3-2 already.
So
lot of work here for both teams, right? Remember, first game it was RRQ leading minute number 8, but they lost. So will it be different for Onic, who has the lead early towards the mid? Will they choke? RRQ looks for a push in the top lane, but doesn't seem to want to fight as 30 seconds on the clock for the first Lord.
Look at the gold lead though from Sutsujin from the Indian equipment by Dunia Games. That was pretty surprising. Yes, Sutsujin is one of the best farmer in the whole game, but the fact that Onic is leading right now and somehow Kyrie is behind in gold is a bit surprising, I gotta say, because Alpha is also a good farmer as well with the true damage. So maybe Sutsujin, this is the time for him to be able to use his advantage and being able to output more damage than Kyrie, as Toy also secures a really important item there in Malefic 4. All the frontliners of Onic will be screaming in pain if he gets hit by the Detonatas.
Sans pops the wings by wings. That's a cancellation by Edok. That's gonna be the flicker spent. That's gonna be Sutsujin though, taken off the board. Great offense set up by Onic.
Yeah, no Purify, no Flickers. This is a Yusunchin jungler, and you gotta rely on the iframe. A bit of iframe to be able to handle all the CCs away from Onic, and Kyrie did a good job pulling the trigger there. That was a 5v4. 13k on the Lord, they reset it.
Onic taking their time. Keyboy looking for an angle. Revitalized box. Keyboy moves back with Severo. Very aggressive angle here. RRQ, do they snip this one out? That's gonna be better airstrike. Moving back, RRQ members. Iron doesn't really find the connection with that passive. Onic also repositioning towards the Lord.
That was a good cut coming in from RRQ. They know that somewhere Sapiro is lurking. It's gonna be the danger. Oh, Tsunami Slam!
Yep, on towards Edok. This time he will fall. Iron finds a flank! That's gonna be time to lead it. Onic though, they will claim the Lord. That's gonna be 4v3. That's gonna be RRQ moving forward. Mid exposed. Onic, they find the objective, but they lose out on the fight.
And look at this. They still want to go for a bit more here. RRQ can take the turret, can take the purple for themselves. Kyrie looks like he was able to secure it. Sutsujin secures that endless battle as well. So another 2 damage here for RRQ to be used with the frontliners, especially for Kyrie, which is deathless so far in this game. The killing spree did do some work. And this 11th mark, Onic 2k gold lead, and the Lord is coming up in the bottom lane. The siege potential of this team is actually crazy. You have not a melee EXP laner, and also Savero. San's gunning them down. Tsunami Slam!
Oh no, that's gonna be one Tsunami Slam to engage the fight. Onic though, HP bars not looking very great. Rita perched it down by Savero. Great positioning. Onic now. They will lead the charge with the Lord marching bottom side.
I was wondering like what item did Edok take, because that was too fast. Yes, he is 056, but I don't think a Baksha with the Poisons and also the Revitalize is able to go down that fast against Savero's crossbow. My oh my, Sutsujin though, he is just farming all along the top side. Feathered airstrike wins!
That's gonna be almost a solo kill, but that was Keyboy deleted. Looking past the bench, Kyrie looking for an angle, but Onic, they will not force more. Sutsujin from the mid angle. Kyrie pops that retribution just to get to safety. Great recovery though from RRQ, despite them only having 4 members earlier.
Yeah, for sure. And when you look at the map here, it still favors Onic with the turrets, but for the long lane, oh, it actually is equal. But for the long lane, RRQ is leading. There is one inner turret for themselves, so they can set this up a bit better. But the fact that they can play that. So RRQ, despite them having a Yusunchin, they have some fighting power in the objective fights. It's gonna come down to Sutsujin and how he finds the angle. As you can see here, the gold lead from Sutsujin. Oh my goodness, I feel like it's only 30 seconds ago he secured the endless battle. Now Malefic Roar right away. A huge item for himself. The person on the front line of Onic. And the gold lead is slowly dwindling down towards RRQ. It's all equal in kills, all equal in structures. It's a matter about how you execute this. They're trying one.
RRQ looking for the commitment on towards the fight. Onic quick to respond and quick to be tight on the formation. Onic now looking for some counterplay with Keyboy popping his own conceal. Doesn't find an angle. RRQ and Onic here just looking to find an angle as the 8 seconds less Lord will spawn.
Good one from both teams, considering that, or knowing that the threat was there. Tsunami Slam right away towards Tyron.
Oh, that's gonna be Keyboy jumping on towards just Tyron though. Kyrie waiting for the right timing upon that Spear of Alpha, that true damage.
Prince.
Oh, maybe this is going to the right time. Eat up. Very low push on spot. Prince has Pelea's ult, has Tsunami Slam, and he will spot Severo.
Oh!
Great and cover by Onic. Rince knows he loses on that engage.
Good reaction there from Savero. He knows that Rince is missing and he is the main problem for this Irthel. Now the fight becomes even easier for Onic because Savero, one threat is down. Kyrie already. Spear of Alpha.
That's gonna be Keyboy.
Oh no.
The cover. That's gonna be Tsunami Slam on towards supporters. That's Sutsujin. Looking for an angle. Finds it. Edo goes down though. Lutfi taking care of Sutsujin. Dyron. All of the RRQ members are almost out except Toy. Onic again finding the right connection, and they will take the fight and the Lord.
Yep, there's no way Toy wants to contest for that one. Amazing play by Onic, but I gotta give some props towards RRQ. That fight went down a bit better than I thought. Sutsujin was able to find a flank angle and use the ultimate to kind of stand up 3 members of Onic, but when you're up and also having the man advantage, Onic will just easily capitalize.
Let's wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. 3K now with the Lord marching, I believe, bottom side of the map here. And RRQ, they will be able, at least Onic, right? They have time to manipulate the waves to have a 3-wave push. RRQ though, out of their base, not inside the not turtled inside their base.
Yeah. This is a game for Rince and Tyron because they are the setters of RRQ. They have to somehow find a way to get this backliners of Onic. Considering that Sans is also rocking that flicker, so maybe Rince could shift his focus on towards Sans as well. But he has a Purify, not a flicker, so he can't really gap close as easily as he usually does.
Okay, that's very, very concerning for RRQ. Wind of Nature already built for Savero. Top lane though, exposed.
Oh no, no way.
Sutsujin will claim that for free. That's gonna be a turret for a base turret. That's gonna be Keyboy though. Tsunami Slam on towards one. Iron immune, but he should fall. No, not yet as Lupi claims it. That's gonna be the Lord taken care of. Savero just free hitting in the back. That's gonna be Onic just pushing more pressure, adding more pressure as top lane. It's Sans versus Sutsujin. Sans, gotta be careful.
Yep,
oh,
I knew that was coming.
Wings by wings. This is a solo. It's not a juggler v juggler. It's Gila Sans. Oh my goodness, Keyboy under the base. Onic now base exposed. Ladies and gentlemen, Onic, they will double their lead in this best of 5.
The calm and composed Onic is here. It's Onic time, baby. They are in match point. One more step towards Riyadh. 2-0. Not really the cleanest of games because RRQ also knows how to react, but Onic was better in that exchange. Amazing from Onic. RRQ dig deep in the back, but it's not enough.
But it was not enough. Seems like the Yi Sun Shin pick in this game did not work. And Onic, they are 1 game away to securing the grand finals of MPL Indonesia Season 15. 1 step away and securing a slot to fight in the MSC.
And boy, we might see the old Sans back again. Now this is the playoffs. This is the ultimate stamp. This is the ultimate stage for Sans, for him to be able to announce that he is back to the Gila Sans form. Look at this. Wow. It's a 4v4, but Onic still want to take it because mostly the gold lead is on Sutsujin. And Sans, like, I somehow knew that he's gonna be outside of the map because that's the only way for him to get away from Sutsujin's damage.
Calculation, the boldness, so composed. This guy, Gila Sans.
Gila indeed. I said that we have a series
in our hand, but it might be over after the next match. Do you think so? Our panelists, give us an answer.
Gila!
Suns!
Gila!
Suns!
Gila!
Suns! Oh my. Bro.
Look at that guy. Look at this beautiful man right here. This handsome dude.
Brother man.
Sans, this guy is so good. Out of this world. Stop the recall from happening. Sutsujin couldn't even get out of that spot.
Good.
But most importantly, he was able to get the elimination against Sutsujin up top.
Mage against an assassin, by the way. Right? When Sun's on the Farsa, it's a whole different beast, dude. It just makes the hero like 10 times better.
Brother, you do not play a YSS god with a YSS. You do not outplay the original YSS god.
This is the guy that picked Beast and Shin in the grand finals of season 8 and got a savage against RQ Hoshi Sans. The original YSS god. You're right. Man, what a play. The recall. You know, he flickered with a feather airstrike in the base to cancel out the initial recall. Then he continued to chase on because he knows without Sutsujin, without the Yisun Shin, it was going to be really tough to even go for the 4v5. Dude, this guy,
We thought RQ got something there. Able to get the big.
Ini gak ada Onic kan? Gak ada RRQ guys.
Vision akan terbuka dan jangan lupa ya terbuka rumput ini gak banyak. Lutfi bukan tipikal yang keras.
the choco happiness of Cream O-Holics.
Yes, yes.
Looks like they don't want to settle. They ruined my fit. Fuck peace. Kill them all.
Nice. What doesn't kill you gives you aura. Well done, King. Yeah, good one, Mike. We'll buy you some time.
Fools. You have no idea who's coming. Ghost hears no cries. Only power speaks.
Tujuh loh.
7 sampai 15. Tapi kalau kita lihat
Ya.
dari season 7 sampai sekarang performanya gimana kok? Masih bertahan, stabil atau meningkat?
Masih bagus. Kemarin kan Onic sempat menurun. Nggak tahu kenapa, tapi memang efeknya Yep ya mungkin ya. Begitu Yep balik langsung jadi jago. Harus digaji mahal tuh dia.
Oke. Tapi tentunya kita ngelihat juga selain Keyboy, ada satu sejarah baru di mana MVP regular season didapatkan oleh Idok, seorang roamer yang biasanya jarang banget masuk ke leaderboard. Dan Koyur, kalau ngeliat Idok gimana nih sebagai pendatang baru?
Idok nih potensinya gede lah. Dia memang bagus ya. Dia lebih mungkin team playnya tuh bagus banget. Jadi dia kayak sama temennya mungkin chemistry-nya dapet, tapi nggak tahu kenapa Onic yang kali ini tuh kuat banget. Onic yang sekarang tuh tadi kan kalahnya gara-gara game 1 tuh comeback. Jadi Onic kemarin juga comeback juga kan lawan Ikpem. Pokoknya dia tuh kayak sekarang Onic yang kali ini tuh kuat banget lah.
Begitu
tapi kalau
kuat.
Idok memang bagus.
Bagus. Tapi kalau kita ngebahas mungkin lebih dalam lagi ya, kok sebagai dari kacamata legenda Roam Indonesia yang
Ya.
punya piala internasional juga, M1 diting-tingin, ngelihat gimana sih, apa sih efek atau dampak yang diberikan masing-masing Roam, Keyboy di Onic dan Idok untuk RRQ?
Kalau Keyboy mungkin lebih barbar ya. Dia mainnya lebih kayak ngebit gitu ya. Kalau yang Idok kan memang aku lihat lebih team play gitu. Jadi ya semua tergantung kayak chemistry-nya masing-masing sih, mempunyai kelebihan masing-masing.
Punya,
Gitu.
Oke, kelebihan masing-masing. Tapi kalau ngelihat ini memang momen-momen barbar, kamu lebih suka yang mana kok? Emang jiwa barbarmu ada yang nerusin tuh seneng gitu kok?
Kalau aku untuk lebih seneng Keyboy sih.
Oke, memang ya jiwa barbar. Kalau di musim 15 dengan adanya dua nama Roam yang terlihat juga di poster, siapa sih kok yang memang ikonik banget nih untuk memegang roamer Indonesia?
Kalau mungkin memang dilihat dari performanya dari awal, kalau kemarin yang dari grup ya Idok ya kan stabil dari awal. Kalau Onic kan setelah kedatangan Gap baru bagus. Gitu loh. Jadi ya Idok lah kalau season ini.
Idok, oke. Jadi memang terlihat ya dari regular season dan ternyata efeknya sangat berkesan bagi seorang Dangki Barbar. Tapi kok kalau ngelihat momen-momen banyak sekali yang terjadi untuk MPL Indonesia season 15 sesuai dengan prediksi Koyur nggak?
Sesuai dengan prediksi enggak sih. Onic aku pikir awal-awal tuh Onic tuh bakal ya udah kayak stuck gitu. Tapi tiba-tiba Yep is back. Ya, beda lagi dah.
Oke, Yep Effect merubah segalanya. Tapi
Betul.
kok ini tim yang menang kali ini akan ngedapetin tiket MSC IWC. Koyur punya prediksi nggak kok? Siapa nih kira-kira yang bakal ngedapetin?
Ya RRQ sama Onic lah.
Wow, RRQ dan Onic. Ini dua
Ya,
nama
ini
ini.
siapapun yang kalah tetap menunggu. Siapapun yang kalah di lower tetap menang.
Yang dapat pertama siapa nih kok?
Yang dapat pertama ini udah pasti Onic lah. Bukan pasti ya. Hampir pasti kan udah 2-0. Susah mau comeback gitu. Tapi semoga aja RRQ bisa comeback.
Jadi mengharapkan 5 game kok?
Oh, harapanku 5 game kalau bisa.
Harapannya 5 game. Tapi mungkin ada yang mau disampaikan
Ya.
kok untuk penutupan perjumpaan kita yang online ini kok?
Apa penutupnya? Salam Juan COK.
wow. Pokoknya salam untuk semuanya yang ada di sini ya. Dan itulah dia Kodangki yang memang barbar. Dan melihat hari ini thank you banget kok. Game harus terus berlanjut. Di mana Best of 5 Series kita hanya bisa melihat perjuangan dari setiap tim. Dari Kingdom yang masih berharap dan juga dari Sonic yang ingin terus mendapatkan kemenangan. Dan panelis pun sudah siap untuk membreakdown seperti apa. Tapi kita kasih semangat. Sekali lagi, mana semangatnya untuk match ini? Dan semangat sudah mengalir, langsung saja panelis. Silahkan game ketiga.
So Buri went back in time to interview an M Series winner.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Strike.
Kill.
Exactly, you're gonna say it like that. Don't care. Don't care.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Get off me swamp. Get off me swamp.
Get out of me swamp.
Just want to say,
Yeah.
your last M Series win.
That's true. That's true.
Hey!
At least we have one.
I'm
There's
just
a
stating
region with that.
facts. Oh! LFL.
Oh! Name drop. Gideon.
Wow.
Any more? Any more?
Yasu.
Gives a shout out.
Oh,
Oh, whoa.
Husky. Sorry.
No. Shout out to the whole world.
Yeah, to the whole world. To the whole. At least we can say we have all the M series here.
Exactly,
Like-
brother.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna cool it down a bit because I think there's Dandruff fallen. Have you been taking shampoo, Mirko?
No, it's impossible.
No, I'm kidding.
That's impossible,
I'm
bro.
just kidding because
I shower every day with this. What do you?
Yeah. Where's it?
Right there.
Here.
There you go.
This. You gotta
This
move
is-
on.
this
To
is
head
a
and shoulders. It
midnight.
wipes out 100% of wet dandruff. Plus, it's oh no. I hate this.
This is a
Initiation.
this is a custom.
Okay.
we do
A
long-standing
here at
tradition.
Hey,
I'm sort of trapped
I
now.
was there. Thank God my first season there was no, Head and Shoulders yet. And then the next season I had this. constantly every week.
You hold it until we get to draft.
Okay,
Yeah,
This
okay.
is
You gotta hold it.
the signature.
I'm gonna be honest though.
Testimony. Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest. I bought one. Yes, earlier in the
ah,
morning.
yeah,
I bought one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get this
I-
one? Or
Yeah,
rental or
yeah.
lemon?
I could show it to you later.
Okay.
Okay. And then even when I was in your room yesterday, right? We ate together in your hotel room. I saw Head and Shoulders in your bathroom.
That's me.
That's you.
That's me.
What's your favorite flavor?
That was stolen.
Flame.
That was stolen.
That was stolen
Oh,
from?
I got a snitch on Arashi. Technically, we didn't steal it. All right. The end of the regular season means that. Like everything is technically ours, right?
Yeah.
Like the Samsung as well by the end of playoffs. Like they've served their purpose, right? So I was reusing,
Mirko.
recycling.
Mirko.
Reuse this.
I don't know if I can do that.
Hey, Arashi.
I had to do that for like I think 5 minutes or
Yeah,
around
yeah.
like 10 minutes.
I'm committing.
Nah.
I'm committing.
And let someone like take a screenshot. It's just like some
I know, you know what? I know.
no context.
Deep inside Midnight's mind, he wants Mr. Producer to cut off to to the draft.
Zipper,
Yeah.
don't do it. We're gonna stick here up until draft.
Yeah,
Just want to say, there's a shower in our bathroom.
That's true.
that's true.
I can actually take a bath while we do draft. No, not in game. In game.
Well, that'll be a quick one. You're like,
How long do you?
Yeah, it was laid out and concisely what happened.
No, just go on. Carry on.
oh, it's dripping. It's dripping. It's dripping, dude. Okay.
No, it's not dripping. It's not dripping. Don't worry.
Thank you, Mr. Producer, for making this off cam because we don't want to see that mess.
It's not a mess,
This
bro.
is
It's
between
not
his
a mess.
fingers. It's between his fingers.
It's not a mess. I'll be putting this on my hair later on.
Yeah, you have to.
Again, though, if we have to bring it back to the drafts here,
Yeah.
it's Look at how relaxed the man is, by the way. Who's the better? Oh, you really got to do it
Hey,
here right
this
now
is
after that performance.
Diabolical.
Type the players' names now in the live chat. You guys think it's Rins?
Dude, this is rigged, dude.
Or San?
After that clip, of course. And that was baked fresh in our minds right now.
I'll answer then. Moreno.
Alright.
I'll answer.
The mid laner that's out of playoffs, right?
Sanji?
No. Moreno.
Moreno. Hey,
Wait,
listen,
Suelo?
listen.
Suelo?
Listen, guys. Your mid laners will lose at MSC, like at least one game.
Okay.
My mid laner is undefeated.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
My mid laner is undefeated at MPLPH.
By the way, my Fanny has a perfect record too.
Yeah.
0% win rate, 0% lose rate.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should
Perfectly
be.
balanced.
That's not balanced though. Who's the better parser?
Yeah, that is not balanced.
Oh,
I like
man.
the Suns. Hey, usually when these kind of polls come out, it's, you know, broadcast native. You know, like if it's an ID, usually the RRQ votes, you know, they pop up.
Oh,
but
not
over
even
there,
not even ID.
we can see that even in ID, Sans is voted to be the better Farsa user. Now,
Hey, it's equalizing now though.
it is equalizing.
Is it?
Sans is still far.
Never mind. It
Mirko.
jumped back.
Mirko, what do you think are the comparisons between Sans and Rins when it comes to the Farsa?
Again, when it comes to Sans, he's crazy. The mechanics on that kid, man.
Yeah.
He's so good. He knows the limits of the Farsa. He knows instinctually how to utilize it. He has the calculations in his head. Meanwhile, for Rins, I think it's kind of like it's pseudo Sans when it comes to mechanics. He really shines when he plays the utility role, mid laners because he's the main shot caller for the team. He's not really the guy that you would look to make those mechanical plays. Even against Hijume, I had a conversation. I don't know who it was with, but we agreed that Hijume mechanically is the better mid when it comes to playing the Farsa compared to Rins, but Rins is just so smart with it.
Yeah.
And he knows how to calculate.
I haven't talked to you about it, but I would agree because even when I was with Arashi yesterday, in my mind I was like, Hijume's really good on the Farsa as well, and he's kind of gapping Rins.
Yep.
In terms of the mid lane aspect, and I would say like he's not the best in terms of like damage dealer in the mage role, but he does have like the good moments of being able to zone out their opponents. But again, last game it wasn't really possible because he had to play against a Kalea.
And now, obviously, into the drafting phase we go on what could potentially be the last drafting phase of this evening.
Could be actually.
And Onic, just one win away from that ever-coveted MSC ticket. An EWC, will they be able to make their way in a quick notice? But now, drafting phase presented to you by the from a smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. The Lucas band coming in from Onic with the Juicing and the chip as well. As for RQ, it's the Fanny and the Boxia.
The immediate extra ban there, knowing that the Fanny factor is well at play. Now for RQ, they're banning the Boxia as well. So, Loyi and even the Kalea.
Loyi open.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. There's no Boxia, there's no Kalea. Yes.
We both reacted at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, dude, guys.
Oh no.
Time to drop the beat
Let's
of
see.
the
It's gonna be the Joy Fredrin
No,
up for
no,
grabs.
no. They can take the Fredrin, right?
But Onic can go Harith. Harith is still up as well. Like, now it puts RQ in a tough position. Oh, they go for the... Oh, this might just be a give in the game. I don't like that at all. What is this, Fredrin Harith?
Yeah, Fredrin Harith, I would say.
That's Harith.
Harith, Fredrin. There's no way! There's no... Oh my goodness.
Badang even, right up against the high-lows. Or Glue, just pick it up. Oh, they go Ling. Okay. I think they already have enough with the Harith, I guess, to deal with the Joy, so they go for the Ling instead.
Yeah, at least this gives them access to the late game. You can just trade against the Joy. This is really popular as well in MPLPH, the Ling versus the Joy matchup. You're never going to be able to threaten the Ling, especially on the side lanes. He's always going to have that Tempest of Blades. He wins the 1v1 matchup. And now RQ goes back to the Granger. I would say RQ is in a similar fate here, where you have to sort of like get a formal control in the early stages of the game, and then have that huge power spike with with the Joy getting the Stardom side, Holy Crystal, and end the game before the Ling gets out of control. Because at this point, RRQ, they have to keep in mind this is still Kyrie's Ling. They're always going to be able to make space, and late game, the problem with this lineup is that they don't deal well with the split push. Not with the split push, not just from the Ling, but also the diversion plays coming around from the Louis.
We've seen again and again, nowadays, the diversion can also be used just to facilitate faster rotations. And as a result, you're going to have pressure in all three lanes. And without pressure, you can't set up for ganks. You can't set up for dives. You can't really get extra farm outside of your own jungle and lanes. So that is something that a lot of teams have been able to use with the low Yi. It's not only about the pickup or team fight any longer.
And
counter though.
Just to talk about how ridiculous it is, because yeah, hero encounter, whatever. Because yeah, hero encounter.
Cho ban. But I want to talk about the Hilda ban. Is it necessary to ban out the Hilda? Because
I think more Badang, to be fair.
But if RRQ picked the Hilda, they don't really have a setter, right? So,
Yeah.
you know.
I think it's just you know, to limit the options of Dyren, because Dyren has been you know, really good at the Hilda. But there's so many things that Onic can just pull off. There's the Gacha, there's the Badang. I think the Cho is a little bit unwarranted here for the side of RRQ, considering that they have a Hylos. And Onic removes the Farsa. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was still there, right? But is it strong enough?
No, not against the Ling and low Yi, man. I mean, as a parser, you can at least wings by wings if you get caught by the diversion. On Yi, if you just ult and die.
Yeah. RQ?
A Faramis game?
And I think
even worse, I think, against low Yi Harith.
Yeah, man. I mean, you'd understand the you know, the sense of getting up from the Faramis here, but you know, it's just like the core idea of this lineup doesn't really work that well against Onic, and you're not really solving the split pressure from the Ling. I think, even though it's risky, you might need to pull off a Novaria here for Rins. You need that team fight and vision aspect. Well, that works. You know, the Selena division against the you know, the Louis, and also the Abyss of Traps that can be utilized in the early game to sort of like make space for this lineup of RQ.
So that's why they banned the Cho. They want to go Selena,
Probably.
they want Shampoo. Onic, if they want to go crazy, I think going for the Tide Drill can work, no? But if they don't, Badang Gatot is probably the safe answer.
Or, you know, if you want to go crazy, you could pick up both.
Badang Tig?
Badang Tig.
Damn.
Because honestly, I don't see any problems with the Badang being on the XP.
Right, especially there's an option for Luffy to go with a bit of a damage approach as well. Maybe not full damage like what Nino does, but you know, half. Still gonna have a lot of potential pressure, especially against the squishies from side of RRQ. But Phobius is the pickup here, so a lot of ways to stop the forward momentum coming in, even when RRQ are trying to barrel through with that glorious pathway.
RRQ, does Edok play the Guinevere?
Oh,
I think they need to answer
actually,
this Badang.
I think he has picked it up, but I think
it goes Tig.
The good old Edok would probably just be the Tig here.
Yeah, it's a little risky, but if you put the you know, if you get Guinevere here, you shut down the Phobius, shut down the Badang. You let the you know, you let the Joy do his thing in the middle stages of the game, and it allows for RQ to have this amazing you know, engaged comp in the mid game, but it is quite risky. Take the option.
There we go, Edok finally getting his hands on a pick that we've been waiting for all playoffs. So far, it's just been him on uncomfortable picks. Gatot earlier again. So finally,
3-0 or
2-1.
Yeah.
I gotta believe, man. It's never over until it's over.
Hey, you got a believer and a kingdom in him. But obviously now it's time for Chefin and Gani to take the stage. Will it be Onic that will jump to MSC, or will RRQ still fight back? Let's go to the casters.
Onic is one game away from Riyadh bound, from MSC, from the prize pool of $3 million. All they have to do is win it out and beat RRQ in this game 3. But surely RRQ will not just stand back and let it happen. What's gonna happen in this game? Game 3 commences.
Lanadon, here we go, as we will witness what will happen here in potentially the last game. Will today be the day of clean sweeps, or will RRQ deny that here and on?
Surely a clean sweep is not really on everyone's bingo card, but you don't gotta watch out for Sansa's first level or 2-level damage here. Prince winning the trade there with the Abyssal Arrow. Now, this is gonna be pretty interesting. The Joy and the Ling, an assassin battle. Like, what's gonna happen here? They're gonna go toe to toe. Like, if we're talking about like the on paper 1v1 potential, I think Kyrie has the edge. But surely this is not a 1v1 game. Edok finally getting his hero on the set. So it's gonna boost RQ's potential on the team fight surely if he knows what he's doing. And I bet you he knows because he is the MVP of Season 15. Kyrie though eyeing for engage.
Let's see, Edok still has the flicker, will not be able to have the time to flicker out of danger. That's gonna be first blood for Onic.
Oh, very quick on the uptick, and that's the advantage, I guess, for essentially both junglers because the rotation speed is amazing for both. But Kyrie was able to get there fast enough with the Finch Poise. Emblem though by Indie Home. Let's see the usual fatal for Kyrie. But so far nothing that's super interesting here. Maybe the mystery shop from Savero. So he wants to snowball a bit instead of just tanking up the damage. And he thankfully has the Purify for him to be able to just tank the CC from Edok if he needs to. Pistol arrow lands to Lutpi, but it's just a bit of damage before the turtle fight begins.
Let's see here. RQ, they seems like they have Pryo. Dyron level 4, Rin's almost level 4, but yeah, Onic seems like they will not force a fight here. Oh, perhaps I might be wrong. Sans with the diversion play, Rin's caught off guard. That's gonna be Dyron here. Glorious path by Luppi with the engage finds Edok. Revitalized palm. Onic, will they fight more? Edok under the turret has the implosion, but Edok will fall for Lutpi.
Yep, trades all over the place. It looked like an easy total for RRQ, but San said no, no way. Kyrie though, is that a steal?
Yeah, retribution used, so orange buff taken away. Keyboy has an engage. Oh my goodness, Sujin level 6. Oh, the damage should be enough as Kai jumps in. Sutsujin finds an angle to get away. RRQ, they have counterplaced as 4 members is onto Kai, the leaded Keyboy, isolated, and this should be a free kill as a glorious pathway actually committed. Oh, no way! The Cowboy shot! The minuscule mechanics actually favors the Sky Kings.
Gila Sans again! What was that? I thought Edok was making the right play, and it was the right play, trying to drag out both Sans and also Keyboy outside of the diversion area, but not enough apparently. Insane mechanics and also recognition that he needs somehow, you know, save Keyboy from his demise. But speaking of Keyboy, he is on the down once again, Gani, and we know he is 100%, yes, before this day, he is 100% on the Badang. 10 matches or 10 games he played on his hero.
We saw Sutsujin finding a cheeky angle to escape Pen-san, say, hey, we can do better. That's, let's see here, reset gold. Yeah, very, the difference is very low. The turtle will be up here soon. Let's see who is going to take it.
Yeah, I think Onic will somehow use the diversion again for Sans to be able to take the bushes behind RRQ, but Rins knows what he's trying to do here. He tried to just cover all the bushes for the whole team of RRQ for him to be able to spot out this micro mechanics or macro from Onic for them to be able to catch them off guard. It becomes even harder, but Kyrie is there trying to get the total.
See here, it seems like both teams taking it slow on the second turtle take, and RQ, they are filling and committing more in the river area. Then again, Kyrie is on a link. Also, Sutsujin knows this. He is a level ahead. Lutfi looking for an engage there on towards Sutsujin, and yeah, taking it slow.
Okay, some damage towards Sutsujin, but nothing too serious. Kyrie secured the Berserker's Fury. That's a pretty big item. Edok getting stunned up. Oh, implosion!
Yep, on towards one. Severo pops his Purify. RQ, what will they do? Edok, half HP, Glorious Pathway committed. Turtle half. Selena doesn't land. That's gonna be Lutfi. Sandbag. Oh! Keyboy finds the connection and 2 members deleted. That's gonna be Sutsujin though, looking for compensation. He moves back, but Onic, they will be in control of the turtle.
Immediately after I mentioned that he is still 100% on the Batang. He proves that this is why he's been unbeatable on this hero. Absolutely crazy from both Keyboy and Sans in this early of a game. And that is why they're the best roamer mid lane duo in MPL history. Sutsujin might be in trouble. No problem for him.
Let's see. RQ, they need to at least find something trade-wise. They are behind on gold. Map control. This is perhaps to play. That's going to be the implosion. Flicker committed. 2 members caught. Tempest Blake also triggered, but nothing else. Precision, half HP. Ludwig misses. Yeah, RQ, they tried earlier, but great spacing from Onic.
Yeah, this is why Batang is such a good pick here. And even the Phobias, because you have this engager, the Edok, even Sutsujin, is gonna have a hard time for them to be able to get into the teamfight, because these two are engage denier, assassin denier. It is difficult for them to make the right play when you have these knockups, when you have these cancels from the first kill of Keyboy, and also not to mention the fist cracks that has been on point in this game. It's 1v1 once again, Sutsujin and Kairi.
This time Sutsujin will take on a jungler, not like the last game. Seems like they will not commit on towards a 1v1 just yet though. Yeah, both teams taking it slow on it. They know that they have Prio here, 2k gold top lane. Almost taken down. So, yeah, map control. It's all blue for now.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if RQ wants to contest this. Yes, they have the tools, and if Rince can land a hook or a good abyssal arrow, and that would be a difference maker before the teamfight begins. And there you go. Sutsujin is just gonna split and try to get the bottom turrets, the first tier turrets for himself. And I think that's a good move, knowing that RQ is at a massive disadvantage in this fight.
See here, Kairi pushing bottom side, but hasn't really shown. So the fog of war here, playing it with it. There you go. That's the show from Kai. No real call just yet here from RQ. Keyboy spotted out, taking it slow as the turtle will shift, and it becomes a lord.
I'm not sure if I saw it correctly, but I believe Kairi picked the magic shoes in this game. That's weird, considering that he's up against a Selena and also Edok. I think extra CC immunity will come in handy if he's ever, gets stunned up for a long time. That would be a difference maker. There's 25% of CC immunity or CC reduction. Should be something that he's looking for. Onic, they're not biting on towards the objective just yet. They know that the long lane presence of Kairi will help them immensely before they want to take the objective.
Wow. Just the play, right? Onic, they know they have the far lane prio, so they are right now just manipulating RRQ and not forcing a fight. Bottom side, the far lane threat is very evident here in the third game.
Yeah. And currently, right now, I don't think they have enough damage to do this kind of play. This Edok and Toy burst down towards the lane. If the Granger gets the item, yes, maybe they can do that, but currently no. Edok though can still play. He might be looking for someone, but no conversion just yet. But back to the point, so Kairi can just stay in the long lane as long as he wants to, and the only thing that can kill him is probably Rince landing a solid arrow. Even then, the Tempest Blade is an easy get out of jail mechanic.
Seems like diversion play will be top. Ludwig now will be taken down. Keyboy doesn't find the connection here. Onic 5v4. Dyron now looking for a fight. Keyboy goes down. Now it's going to be a 3v4 still. Heavily favoring the Kings of Kings.
Okay, good one there from RRQ, knowing that they can use the initial stun from the Hylos to combo it up with the Abyssal Arrow from Rince. Now it's a matter of Kairi, can he execute this strategy? Edok is eyeing for an implosion, eyeing for a stun, for him to get Kairi down from the wall.
Severo is still in the vicinity. Times now, juicy target, Shaman Force popped. That's Edok finding the implosion play! 2 members of Onic deleted an RRQ. They will take the Lord.
Never doubt Edok gonna set heroes, and this is his bread and butter. The tick, the implosion, the game-changing plays of the MVP of the regular season finally coming to fruition here in the third game. And it's not late just yet. They still have the chance to get back in this match.
Yeah, Idok again strikes again. Let's see though, with this first Lord in hand, will RRQ be able to take fully control of the map?
Toy, that's a big item too, Wind of Nature. Just to deter Kyrie's potential, and after what happened in the second game where he pretty much has a bounty in his head with that 1-1 Kyrie, 1-1 Ling interaction, surely he wants to rush this with Wind of Nature as soon as possible. Looking at the whole thing though, let's see if there is something that we can discuss here. So far, it's nothing too crazy. Edok maybe not having that fleeting time is a bit interesting. He wants to go for more tankiness, knowing that, you know, he's gonna be one of the two frontliner of RRQ to take the beating, to take the front to back from Sans and Salvero in the front line, and he rushed the Radiant Armor.
Okay, will that MR be a big factor? Let's see. RQ, they're taking it slow. Lord will march top lane. It seems like, yeah, Onic will sacrifice all of their inners. Base turrets will be the main priority of Onic to defend, and seems like now Lord will charge.
Okay, Lutfi didn't get arrowed. Savero, look at the wave clear, that is immense. And RQ will just back away. The Abyssal Arrow lands.
Nothing too much HP. Base turret top is not looking too hot for Onic, but at least they have defended. It seems like the inner turret bottom side though will still stand, so that's a plus. RQ, they will siege more as a mid and top enters the vicinity. Let's see, Toy dealing out damage here, defending the top lane base. RRQ not forcing anything. They have Pariah on the jungle, so at least Kai does not have his purple buff.
Toy starting to hit a bit harder here in the late game. 13-minute mark diversion. Do they read it, or is there someone who's gonna go there? It's Keyboy, but I'm not sure if he wants to make a play from this place unless he has the conceal. But Edok reads that out.
Seems like would be half HP. Savero though alongside Keyboy here, trying to join forces, dealing out the damage. RRQ, oh my goodness, in back. Toy repositions Kai. Will trigger that Wind of Nature. Iron and Keyboy should fall here as Susujin finds an angle.
Oh,
it seems
my
like
God.
Onic, they're too tight in formation, and Susujin will fall for 35.
I thought it was over. Oh, diversion again. This might be huge. Can they read it out? It's Savero!
Savero and Toy! And Edok this time should be deleted. What a creative play coming from side of Onic.
Onic will never be underdogs despite them losing in economy. They came back 16k down in the biggest stage of MLBB. MPL Indonesia Season 15 is just another day for them as they shift their focus towards the Lord.
Oh my goodness. That's going to be Onic taking the Lord. Rin's trying to salvage something, but no fruition for now.
Now, here comes the concern. Renz, on this kind of situation, he's not that useful. The wave clear is not there. Unless he lands a perfect arrow to the perfect target, that's the only thing that Renz can do. But with the level of focus that Onic players has and the mechanic that they have, I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to land those, especially with the fact that Renz will have limited room for him to be able to, you know, shoot these arrows, because the map will slowly but surely be leaning towards Onic's side. Oh no,
that's a land.
On cue.
That is an arrow landed, but
oh my God!
Savero fires a solo in the mid lane. Toy taken down, Lord still marching, healthy in the bottom side of the map.
That's illegal diversion. Where to?
Bottom side turret now. They want the base turret. Onic is already invading the home of the Kings. Now that's gonna be diving under the turret as well, taking some heat. Oh my goodness, that's an implosion, but the damage from Onic is just too much. Now it's going to be Onic running for the hills as RRQ. They actually have defended. 4 members of Onic will down for at least 20.
And Jakarta International Velodrome roars with the turnaround from Enoch. How? That 4-man implosion was huge. Forced out the Purify from Savero, but there's no Man Force. There's not enough HP. There's not enough shield for him to be able to survive that one. We're gonna take a look at the replay here. Enoch spotting, I guess, the overzealousness of Onic. They just grouped up, knowing that Enoch is in front of them. That is not something that he should do against a Tig. This is a hero that brought RRQ or Onic in M5, came back from 60k down. Surely they know better.
That's the thing, man. A little bit of autopilot right then and there from Onic, right? Just inside of the base. And yeah, a team like RRQ with a roamer like Enoch definitely will capitalize on that autopilot coming from their own opponent. So it's another reset. Keep in mind, we are 16 minutes in. So yeah, let's see here. Definitely RRQ have increases their odds to perhaps potentially force a game 4.
Yeah, the increased odds are there, especially with the... Oh, it looks like for this Lord in particular, Onic has the advantage on the long lane because there's no inhibitor turrets for RRQ. So again, that's something they can use, especially this is Kyrie we're talking about. You know, he's gonna be there in a few seconds with the Finch Boys as long as he has that purple buff for him to be able to expand his energy a bit, you know, a bit freely. Now RRQ will pull the trigger on towards the Lord. Kyrie decided to recall because he doesn't have that purple buff.
Alright, so Kyrie did not show in the bottom side. Chris Crack, Onic looking for an angle to perhaps enter the river. That's the winner crown trigger. Oh, Ludwig very low. He will be Enoch down. That's gonna be Sans flickering out though. Savero taking out RRQ. The Kings of Kings have answered back. Kai finds a shutdown, but RRQ, they are moving forward as again 3 members will be down and out.
Only the dynamic duo of Sans and Keyboy can stop this avalanche from RRQ. Can they do it?
Low goes that way, committed. Sans stunned. That's gonna be Toy focusing, locking the turret. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not the day of clean sweeps. We are going to game 4.
Oh man, oh man. All in the back of Enoch. MVP. Say it. MVP. With some MVP performance. What a match and what a performance from this guy right here. The sophomore is carrying RRQ to a W and to prolong the series to game number 4.
Oh my god. RRQ answered back and the kingdom erupts. Jakarta International Velodrome.
A burst of momentum for the King of Kings. They're up against the Sky King, but there's a reason why they have the moniker King of Kings. They can't take down these teams. There's a reason why they are the #1 in the regular season. The consistency and also the composure for them to be able to stay in the course, believing that they can achieve this and come back from a difficult odds.
And also keep in mind, at least for this series, the team that has red side Chefin won the game. So I think that will be something to keep in mind.
And by the way, we doubted the Hylos, but I feel like the fact that the Abyssal arrow lands so much before the team fight, that's also because of the Hylos.
Yeah.
Maybe our panelists can break it down even further. Time is yours, guys.
Rejoice the kingdom. And if there's someone, a single player that the kingdom can pin their hopes to, it has to be Enoch.
Do I have an Enoch card?
Look for
I don't think so. But dude, that is why he's the GOAT,
you're
man.
unlucky.
That is why he's the GOAT. Oh man. Oh dude.
Yeah, this guy obviously.
There's a
so
reason.
good.
Realize we called the Tigreal. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, they lost in the draft. They need Enoch to go
great
on a
equalizer.
Franco or Tig, and they got, oh man, what a.
They needed that one moment, right? That could turn the team fight around. That one big ult, which by the way he did on that possibly what was a last defense.
Yeah, that was an end angle for Onic.
And then Edok.
But
So you were saying
Edok happened.
he walked into position?
Here.
Yeah, there, here.
This one.
So he went and flickered in.
Oh my.
Sans sort of walked in too. And Onic did not expect that set because, he waited for at least 0.8 more seconds before he went inside and get that found that set. I'm speechless. I'm stuttering because I'm stuttering. Not stuttering.
Dude,
stuttering.
I
Because
can't
I
talk.
couldn't believe Edok pulled off that play.
Yeah.
I can't talk though right now. I may or may not have been jumping around yelling when that happened.
Yeah, the whole place erupted. The roof went off and Arashi was just screaming on top of his lungs. But the MVP, the player of the game, it is, and it has to be Edok, presented by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S25 series. And yeah, that single implosion at least. But aside from that, anything you can highlight that Edok did in the entire of the game?
Well, he was doing a good job screening for potential dangers, and several times you saw very, very clutch intentions behind the Sacred Hammers from Edok. But unfortunately, Onic were just doing a great job mitigating a lot of those big moments until later on when RRQ were able to find some trades off and they're able to kind of match when it comes down to the damage output. That's where Edok really started coming up online, dude. He was just so patient the whole time. Before that, I guess knowing that there was something they could have done anyways, but dude, that's it.
And it turns out, right, I mean, usually when you're up against Edok, it's so easy to just say, alright, let's go Purify, let's deal with it.
Yeah.
That's why the Selena pick ended up being really, really good in the end, right? I mean, at the start we were thinking, alright, why Selena? Turns out it was a setup for Edok to get those implosions. Before that fight happened, the one where the implosion landed on two, both Severo and I forgot the other guy. Oh, by the way, crazy Severo assassination here. When this happened too, the Purifies had already been baited out, from Severo, and it was just, well, in the end he actually did it, but like before that, the turning points when they were able to slow the game down. I will say though, for Onic, I think we also didn't expect the link to come through. We expected something like a Fredrin just to shut down the Joy and then have proper ways to deal with, again, this kind of composition. They went for the greedy route, they went for the comfort route in a possible last game of the series, and ultimately it went to RRQ. They can't let their guard down like this. They gotta stay consistent. Remembering, again, RRQ, even though we have seen them kind of neutralize in game 1 and 2, they're still #1 in the regular season for a reason. Edok and Dyron. Actually, 2 reasons then.
Yep. And he had to give a shout out a bit more to Syzygy as well. Like we said, on the Joy, this guy just is a bit better. He's not the clutch kind of player like we were talking about. He's still the same kind of more hesitant kind of jungler. But you saw that on the Joy. There was that one escape against Kyrie that was very impressive. And even in that final fight, he did a great job just actually outputting the damage and zoning out, dealing damage to the whole backline. Even though in the end he missed the final dash, and he got picked off against Kyrie. But you're seeing him just perform so much more, so much better in a clutch factor as compared to the other assassins that Syzygy usually brings to the table.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it doesn't brawl on Joy. I think that's why Syzygy Joy works for RQ. Like, they learn to play the game in a slow pace. Not really slow, not sluggish, but they find their timings. And I think for RQ, this is very important. But for Onic, this is where they got sloppy. This is very similar to how RQ played game #1. They just got sloppy in the the later stages of the game. Dyron getting picked off in front of the Lord, in front of the bush, where the Hylas was checking, used the glorious pathway, the arrow hit. And that's where the game started slipping off for Onic, because even Kyrie couldn't hold the side lanes anymore because RQ was forcing the issue.
Yeah, that Brace might pick up though by Sans. Did he really need to survive with that emblem? Was sustainability necessary for this Loyi?
Yeah, I think at this point it's a pretty common spell, or sorry, not spell, common emblem to take right now. The Brave Smite over, just damage dealing, because on the low Yi, especially up against a very aggressive composition like this from RRQ, you do need a little bit of survivability, especially in the early game. I just gotta give props though to RRQ for playing that game well, because despite the fact that yes, we didn't like the Link pick, there were some picks that we thought would come out, like the Tigreal to deny Edok. RRQ just played a good game. Actually, Edok played the best game of MLBB. Here, I think throughout the series, out of all the individual players, despite Sans going and getting a crazy individual play last game, Edok, this is the reason you want to take away the playmaking from him. You want to just put him on the Hylos, on the Gatos, on the Baksha. No, for your opponents you do. You want to put him on the Hylos, the Gatos, the Baksha. Don't put him on the Tig. If you're his opponents, if you're RQ, Keskute, he finally, I think it clicks now. He's like, damn, we really got to go back to the regular season. We've been throwing out strats that we've been hiding, there's a reason.
Yeah, I think this is comfort for RQ. This is where they thrive on a lineup such as this. You perfectly realize what the timing is. You play for the late game. You let the the Selena and the Tigreal kind of sort of like control the early to mid, and then when you are in fighting shape, you execute to perfection. And I think for RQ, this is where the coach comes in. All right, that's a good play. I like that he didn't panic. Because honestly, keyword there is not panicking. You saw when Edok tried to roll over onto the lane when Kyrie contested for the Lord, he didn't even use Flicker. He just let Kyrie waste his energy. And when they saw the lane had no energy, he went for that crucial, ultimate onto the backside.
Yo, by the way, do we see 2 Sky Piercer builds for a toy? Or is that a mistake? There's a Sky Piercer there at about 6 minutes, and then there's another one at 18.
I think he might have sold it then for something.
Yeah, he might have sold it for something, which is like, yo.
They bought it again.
What?
Something behind that. I think it's
not
the
enough.
rose gold. No? There's like a rose gold behind it.
Because he has both Rose Gold and Wind of Nature, but it could also just be the boots that he sold for one of those. Yeah, I wonder what he sold it for.
You get the stack still? Like if you sell it and then buy it
It
again?
resets to get reset.
Yeah, it resets.
I think he knew that, like, okay, Severo was doing well, and he didn't get a lot of stacks, so
So be it.
RRQ di playoff ini?
Menurutku RRQ-nya juga bagus sih, cuman Onic tetap lebih unggul lah.
Bajunya sudah terlihat ya di sini ya. Oke, di sini masih mengharapkan tentunya Onic Pertiwi sudah ngedapetin tiket untuk MWI. Sekali lagi congratulations dan selamat berjuang untuk Onic Pertiwi di MWI 2025. Dan kita masih akan mencari tahu siapa yang akan mewakili Indonesia untuk MSC. Slot pertama Grand Finalis dan juga slot pertama untuk Indonesia di MSC. So, kita penasaran banget. Game keempat atau bakal jadi game kelima. Langsung saja kita lemparkan kepada para panelis. So, panelis, go.
Thank you, Uday Clara Mongstar and Chico. Who
Chico!
is currently the coach of Onic Pertiwi, which is the female team for Onic, and he was ex-Rebellion coach.
Ex-Rebellion, by the way.
Ex-Navi, but...
Wasn't he in Malaysia for a bit?
Yeah, he was.
JP Niners.
Yeah. Then he, I think he got homesick. Oh. Are you homesick of MLPH?
Not
right
really.
now?
I mean, I've been here for like 4
You've been
days.
enjoying MPLID?
I'm enjoying MPLID.
Nice.
I am enjoying the crowd. I'm enjoying the games. I'm enjoying being with you gentlemen.
Hey, W man.
Yeah. It's on cue because I asked him, does he enjoy the food? He does.
I do.
We're having sambal,
We tried this yesterday.
earlier on. And by the way, you had this, right?
Yeah.
Just yesterday.
It's so good.
Tequila food. This is next level. It is
Yeah.
amazing. Obviously, this is the food that you want when you're hungry and you're lazy. You know, to cook up some food, you can just grab tequila food. Yesterday, we tried out the sablak and also the baso achi, and it was busted.
We had it again today.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, you got it again?
Yeah.
It's delicious.
All right,
He,
how was it?
he treated me. I mean, if you're gonna ask me, I'm gonna have to take a stash at home, cause it's that good.
You'll have to stash it up because late night cravings, you don't really want to, make the time to cook. It's all simple with tequila food. Don't forget to grab yours now. They have different flavors. They have a lot of, variants that you can enjoy. Tequila food, midnight approved.
Yes. Sir.
Midnight approved.
Yeah.
Now, was that draft midnight approved?
I would say I say a lot of things, man, but I'm gonna say they should have taken that TIG.
Yeah,
I am gonna swear by that statement till the day I die.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Me and Mirko were talking off camera. Now the Choban made sense because RQ was also prepping for the TIG. So both of them could have taken the TIG. RQ wanted the TIG, but Onic was like, nah, let's just go full views, and Edo happened.
We were calling for the TIG too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so is that Onic, trying to find out if they can deal with the TIG? Or is that Onic really thinking like, they just want a different solution there? Because remember, even for the jungler, we were thinking Fredrin, not Ling.
Yeah.
So is that the idea? Can we deal with this Sutsujin Joy without the Fredrin? Because, I'm not going to put that beyond someone like Coach Air.
Onic always, I don't know what it is with them in game 3s, man. Against Game 3, they lost. And then game 4, they won. Geek Fam, game 3, they lost. And then game 4, they won again. And now, game 3 against RQ, they've lost again.
Are they give chance?
Are they giving chance? Are they, because they went for a comfort draft, dude. The Ling instead of the Fredrin, full counters the Joy.
Yeah.
The Phobias instead of the TIG that we were talking about.
I don't think it's an Onic thing, because even in day 1 of MPLID and even in MPLPH, most teams lost game 3. Like they get 2-0 and then they get 2-1. Game 3, I think at this point is just a curse, or maybe just because most of the teams that win game 1 stay on the same side now, and then game 3, a switch up happens.
Yeah. So what can we expect then? Game 4's draft, I mean, obviously they were opening up their cards. Even RIQ revealed that Yisun Shin and the Tigreal is out. Do you think now it's Onyx's time to respect that Tigreal or other playmaking heroes of Iraq, or go for a different route?
I think instead of going for their comfort, they would be benefiting a lot more from just denying RQ their comfort, right? I think this is the difference here when you have so many more versatile options, where you can play so many more heroes at such a much higher level, like Onic in ID right now. They can just make sure that the opponents doesn't get what they want, and for the most part, overall, most likely Onic are gonna come out on top.
Can I pose a proposition here for RIQ?
What is that?
First phase tick. Some teams do that. Some teams do that, and some teams have found success in first phasing, second phase heroes because your enemies are not going to be expecting it.
I'd say if they actually got the red side, yes, it makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
first phase, last pick red.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, last pick red, first phase, yeah. Oh no. But if they're on blue, which unfortunately they are, Yevov has taken back the red side away from them. I think if they really want to go for another EDOC special pick, it can be the Franco later. So they can still save it for later.
Yeah, Franco.
It's still
same band, back to the basics now. Wait, Harith gets taken out. Lo Yi left open again.
Oh, okay. This is different. This is different for RQ. Onic.
Oh, never mind.
Let me just say, red 3 for Onic is very, very dangerous because Xavier could get the 1-1. So RQ might need to take it out, but if you're Onic, you're planning ahead of RQ. You just take the Martin here. Well, Padang
Lo Yi.
probably because RQ didn't. I would say the Kalea was a good priority, but now you have to be concerned about the Louis again, and then there's also that threat of the 1-1 red 3. So I think RQ needs to get their hands on the 1-1 on this next upcoming picks, because if not, I don't think they're gonna be able to stand against this 1-1.
Wouldn't an Aerithal still be available though as a counter to that one?
No, it's red 3. If they pick it red 3, it'll be banned out.
Red.
Okay.
Yeah. So if the RQ takes 1-1 here, Onic just goes Aerithal.
Exactly.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lose-lose situation.
They go Granger again, I think. We really haven't seen Toy go for anything else when the Granger's up for grabs. It seems just to be the key pick for them.
Yeah. Straight two heroes.
It's still up for grabs too, and technically now it gives Onic. Oh, they don't jump for the
What?
Granger. Selena early this time round.
Selena again. Is it a setup for another Tigreal?
It's a setup for a Tigreal, but it's also a pick that we are used to seeing up against Lo Yi. Just open up bushes so that when there's no diversion, you can read out some of the ambushes.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a Fredrin threat for Onic on the second phase, but I don't think they're gonna be concerned about. I don't think RQ is concerned much about a Fredrin pick because they can just remove it on the second phase unless Onic wants to take the Fredrin here, which is kind of okay. But they lose the the gold date advantage that they could potentially take when they take the gold date here and then remove some choice heroes.
So either 1-1 or Fred.
Aerithal. I thought it was preemptive.
Yeah, I thought it was either the 1-1 or the Fredrin.
We have seen Savero just go straight onto this Aerithal just as an option, not as a response anyway. So I was questioning about that, and it's most likely due to how Onic likes to go with distance management, and the Aerithal is a perfect solution for something like that.
I think what they're doing here is choosing to not care about gold lane matchup at all, because now RQ can either get 1-1 or Granger, but all matchups, Savera wins. So now Onic can just relegate their bans towards EDOC, and then also the XP flex. This is next level from Coach Yip.
Yeah, and even if there's a pick that still does alright against the Aerithal, it's kind of like a non-confrontational pick, like a Moskov.
Yeah,
it's
Moskov.
You go fight, I'll go and play in the side. So if Onic wants to, again, force RQ to play to play the Granger or 1-1, then after the tick ban here, they ban Moskov. If they want to play it safe, again, take away the playmaking heroes from EDOC. But I don't think you want to take away Franco now, because the Kalea is still there. I don't think you want to double down fully, so the Moskov makes sense to ban here, right? It's another way to technically deal with the Aerithal through just playing in the side lane.
Yeah, maybe the Hylos or the Hilda. They could remove from RQ because well, that too. But I think the Hilda would have made more sense. Honestly, because he could just roll in, check the bushes for RQ, adds more layers for the Selena to work with, creates more angles for the Joy as well. But for Onic, I don't think they're much concerned about the gold lane again because they have the airfill. So Fredrin might be the next choice here for Onic if RQ does not take it out.
They can still go Fredrin Masha, no? Like the Masha is actually left open.
Oh, you're right.
That was a pick that RQ have always banned out so far in Game 1, Game 2. I forgot about Game 3, but it's left open to RQ. Do they still decide to read into it? They ban the Fred. There you go. Alright, so the threat of the utility plus Masha.
They can still go Masha here and then last pick Kaja.
Wow. Oh, Kaja?
Oh, against the Joy.
Yeah, even though there's a Selena, this is not rogue
against
Kaja.
The Kalea though, yeah. It'll be good against the Joy technically if the Joy walks up, but if the Kalea is the one who goes in first, then the Kaja with the Lo Yi. Yeah. I see it.
But then Onic will be inclined to play.
It's still okay.
It's still
okay.
Kickoff, right?
So thing is like Onic, if they take the Masha here, it could potentially set up the the Kaja, but I think the best answer here for RQ is still the Hilda. Like, you just have a walking hero that tanks everything on the side of on Onic, and also it's a Dyron special. Oh, they rushed it!
Midnight!
They rushed, bro.
Doubling it down.
RQ, if you don't take Hilda here, I swear to God.
Whoa, Midnight with the call, and now it's up to RRQ. How do they want to respond to this?
You need somebody that just wants to die in front of the Kaja.
Hilda.
I mean, not really die in front of the Kaja, but suicide himself.
Let's see. Someone who's tanky, someone who can maybe survive if possible, right? The Hilda does fit the bill, you know, with the movement speed, the shielding, the regen.
Hylos too.
The next best thing would be something that, you know, deals with, that can run with a revitalize.
Yeah.
To try to just buy some more time.
What do you go for Dyron?
What do you go for gold? That's the question. Granger, Bruno?
Experience the youth.
Still the Granger. Back to the roots.
Wow. Double G's.
All of them die, so this combo from Onic. So
Yeah, I agree.
Sure, Masha then?
I mean,
honestly, if you want to get greedier out, go Julia and Kyrie.
Wow.
go Julian on Kai, Kaja on Keyboy,
Yeah.
and then Badang XP.
Yeah.
Insta kill button with the Julian. We have seen in the past as well.
Yeah,
Go
they
for
did
the
go
normal
back to
Masha.
that.
There you
Still
go.
the same.
Man, they didn't ban the Masha.
It's a win-win draft for Onic either way.
Midnight, the call. That was
Midnight.
good. That was impressive.
The call and the coach and the caster.
Wow, and now I'm getting glazed. But it's Kyrie that needs to be glazed in this game.
Yeah. And now
100%.
it all comes down to this. An almost repeat of the picks that Onic showcased in their first match of the playoffs. And now, will it be the end for RRQ, or will Onic be pushed to a deciding game of 4? Let's take it over to our casters, Goni and Jeffin.
Second appearance for the Kaja, and two of them are Kyrie's in the playoffs. Onic, they got what they want. The ingredients are falling into place, but RRQ, they stick to what works in game number 3. We are on to another match point for Onic. Can RRQ force a game 5?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are potentially a game away again for Onic to secure the grand finals and to secure themselves a spot for MSC. Let's watch and enjoy potentially the last game.
Yeah, some good points being raised by panelists about the Kaja. Yes, technically it does counter Sujin, but that is if... Okay, Keyboy getting jumped on, still has the flicker. That is if they want to go for a dive. Other than that, like, you can't really engage on your own first. I guess you have the Luoyi, but you don't have the chip, so maybe they will make use or full use out of the diversion, and Sans will be the pivotal member of Onic in this game. Looking at the emblems though by IndieHome, it looks like Kyrie is going to use that support emblem. Didn't get the turn on towards Sans.
For now, it seems like it's just both teams touching and going. Pokes around the board. Keyboy no flicker for that first turtle, perhaps. That's already a sign for Onic to not fight for the turtle. But let's wait and see. Sisujin yet level 4. Kyrie as well. Oh, okay. Kyrie finds that green camp. Yeah, for now, it's just both teams trying to poke each other out.
Yeah, Rince has been quite on point. Cheeky cancel by Adok. But yeah, he's been pretty much handling all the bushes for RRQ right now. Gotta watch out for some of these arrows. There's a few people, there's a few players that can make the Selena work. And Rince was one of them in the regular season, and he's showing his full potential here in the playoffs. Lutpi though, already level 4, Keyboy. Hasn't secured it just yet. And Onic will force to concede the turtle.
As expected as well, right? No contest for Onic. RRQ secures the first neutral objective in the game, and mind you, the history-wise final upper brackets all a sweep. It's been a sweep for RRQ. Season 7, 8, and 9. So let's see, perhaps this time around it will change between RRQ and Onic. as again they are a game away for a grand final spot.
Due to the great game win rate also, Rince is still pretty much unbeatable on the Selena 3-0, 100% win rate. So he's looking to make it perfect again in his fourth match in the regular in the season 15 with the Selena. But surely it's gonna be a tougher test here with Lutpi also securing this Masha, which has been banned quite a lot in the playoffs for some of the XP laners that we have here in ID. Luke, Lutpi are the two that can make it work the best. Looking at the items though, it looks like Kyrie will go to that Thunderbelt route again. So minimal damage, more tankiness. But again, surely the RQ, if they don't fight, I think it's gonna favor them because Sutsujin will just farm up much better than Kyrie. This is a problem that they have to address. Onic will have to force a team fight on towards RRQ with their diversions. That should be the win con in the early to mid game.
It's all quiet though, right? For that divine judgment. I don't think it has been triggered this game here, and Kyrie's level 7. Let's see though. 15 seconds on the clock for that turtle. RRQ seems like they will set up for that turtle take as well. Sans, half HP, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, solid pokes from Rince. He's been handling Sans with this Selena, man, 2 games in a row. Lutpi though, he's on a Masha right now. Oh, diversion, gotta watch out a little. Sutsujin might be in trouble. Lutpi.
That's gonna be Sutsujin though. Distracted rather, by Lutpi. He will reposition. AOG will connect out towards Lutpi. That's going to be Lutpi though. First step down. Toy finds the first blood. Keyboy very low but high. Calm retribution. That is going to be a kill for a trade.
Thankfully they got the turtle, because if Sutsujin takes it, that's an L on all over the department of 4 Onic. The gamble that paid off from Onic. Lutpi, he got to tone down the aggressiveness. Yes, they need to use the diversions, but it has to be a bit more calculated with the all-ins.
Okay, and tempo slowed down again. Onic, they will play it slow. Diversion. This might be a great setup. That's gonna be Keyboy forcing Toy to use that flicker. Base. And that's gonna be a turret taken down.
No.
Oh, that's going to be a pull by Kyrie, and Severo will be the executor on it, pulling Idok back, and that's going to force the AOG from Idok.
Yeah, another concern that a Kaja jungler has is the gap close. It's not really that great either, because you don't have that flicker, you only have a retry. But, you know, Kyrie makes it up with the fact that he was flanking Toy from the side. Good one coming in from Onic, and they secured another turret. Even though economy right now is still favoring towards RRQ, and that should be all Sutsujin farming the hell out of this Toy.
See here, RQ, 4 members in the mid. Onic only 3. Will they be able to capitalize on this? No, it seems like both teams just wants to clear. 25 seconds on the turtle, and Onic seems like they will rotate towards top lane.
Yeah, Lutpi though, this is quite interesting. He's just gonna go towards the far lane here, trying to make something happen. Idok conceal, but so far no target just yet. Onic, they're not owning the bushes.
Yeah.
Purely just because Tyrant is on a Kalea and Rince mostly on this Selena, man. The arrows, even the, a single abyssal trap, the utility is just too big. Diversion by Sans.
Great awareness. Oh, that's going to be the connection on Sutsujin. Great taunt. Onic 5v4. Onic will somehow keep it tight formation-wise, but they lose out on the turtle take.
Yeah, Kyrie, he's forced on a jungle that literally does nothing but a single point lock engage, and that's a problem. This is someone that's mechanically gifted, someone that can make a play of his own, but he's forced to be this utility jungler. Veteran has a lot of utility. Baxia can roam around the map really fast, but Kaja, the utility is just so minimal that Kyrie is not really, so effective if he doesn't get that divine judgment towards the perfect target.
Okay. There's 1,000 gold between them. Onic still have some counterplay here with Severo, still untouched. Let's see how RRQ will handle this fact. 60 seconds here for our first Lord in the game. Sutsujin looking for an engage. AOG lands. Purify pops on it. Great recovery, and they will move back.
That is why you use the Purify onto the Airthel, man. The arrows and the AOGs from Edok. That was a good punish, but thankfully Savero still has the Purify. But also good use from Onic though. They're not really done by much. Oh, Tsunami Slam on towards Tyron, and he is out. Another Sky Piercer stack from Toy.
RQ playing it very, very well. Structured, patient. I like it. Onic, again, suffering a loss. But then again, it's just Keyboy, the roamer. Taking it slow. As long as Severo is able to farm, I think they will think they are a-okay. Diversion towards the mid to reinforce the threat coming from RRQ. But yeah, so far, it's just 5 kills in total.
Yeah.
Almost 9 minutes of game time.
Especially for Onic, the team that feeds off the early game, just want to dominate the early to mid game. This is something that's quite rare to see. And that's because Kyrie again is on a Kaja. They're not gonna be able to be as dynamic as the Prime Onic that we're seeing, especially with Chip. It's non-existent in this game. It's only the diversion from Sans. Other than that, there's no gap closer for Kyrie.
Oh, that's a big knockup. That's going to be on it. Collapsed on. RRQ looking for angles. Kyrie still tanky enough, but in the back side. It's going to be Lupi taking one down. Kyrie very low. Toy claims the kill. Sutsujin very low and taken down. Savero finds the kill, but it will still be RRQ taking 3 down.
God. RRQ got away there because they took a fight in that tight position, a position that really favors Sans by quite a lot. But thankfully, the frontliners are frontlining for King of Kings. They lives to see another day, actually winning the trade also. It was 3 for RRQ and 2 for Onic. A good sign building up towards the late game, and Toy is just hacking up on the Sky Piercer, man. 4 by now.
Things are definitely not looking good here for Onic, but it seems like they want to contest. Diversion for... Okay, they send a Keyboy. Toy is in that area. Taunted, oh my goodness, everything put on towards Keyboy. That's going to be Rins. Distracted. Kyrie secures the Lord. As RRQ now, they will shift their focus on taking Lutfi down. They will get it, and that will be Onic though. Still claiming the Lord.
Oh, risky again. Thankfully, Kyrie is as good as ever with Retribution despite him being on a Kaja. That was a big gamble from Onic. Thankfully, they didn't just overreact from the fact that Keyboy is getting picked off. Ludwig was in the back. They know that they have to take the Lord for it to make the trade worth. They have to risk it with the Kyrie and the 50-50 against Sutsujin.
Calm, Purify there. That's info though, 80 seconds on that Purify. Yeah, I think Savero untouched. That I feel is one of the main positives from the side of Onic. They still need to neutralize this 2,000 gold lead, and let's see here with this Lord push, perhaps they might turn the tables around.
Now, how do you see Jason? Oh, Savero does not have the Purify!
Oh my goodness! AOG doesn't land. Luckily, but Iron is there to secure that kill. And ladies and gentlemen, it collapsed from RRQ. It's beautiful. 2 members again down. Lord though will charge and will take a base turret top lane, which is not good, because Lord will spawn in the bottom side of the map.
That was almost the worst case scenario, but thankfully again Gila Sans was there. Onic is playing with the limits here, playing with a lot of margin of errors. Now they're forced to defend with only Sans being the lone wave clearer. Abyssal arrow lands, but yeah, that's gonna be not much of a damage towards Kyrie, but all that is started with once again Rinse on the arrows on towards Savero that does not have the Purify, and the follow-up from Edok and also Dyron was immaculate as well. So this team, man, when it clicks, it really is clicking.
I mean, Savero needs to respect the potential, especially when his Purify is on cooldown, and don't show too recklessly. That's going to be the Tsunami Slam and the AOG combo. Let's see Onic from the back. Suits again. Finding the flanks. Finding the double. Almost got the triple as Tor secures another stack for that Sky Piercer. Kiboy will not be able to find an escape as Zedok is the only compensation alongside Iron.
It's only Lutpi, 17 seconds on the clock for Sans to respawn. Lutpi will try to defend this one all alone until all his teammates are up. Only 3 for RQ. No, it's 3 for RQ. This is the time for them to end the game. But do they want to go for it? The wave is coming in.
Yeah, minion luckily for Onic is
man.
up. So yeah, I saw the timer. Yeah, RQ will not be able to end there. But Onic, they are given a warning sign there that they need to be careful. Oh, diversion play wins! What? Out of position! And Onic will be there to punish Onic now. They have Bryo on the Lord. Far lane is pushing towards their side and it's a 5v4. But Tsutsuji
oh my goodness, Tsutsuji!
looking for a play. Let's see, Tsutsuji stunned up.
Oh my goodness, what are you doing? That's not the play! He goes in all alone, not knowing that the whole Onic team was there to punish him. That was absolutely unnecessary, especially when you have the retribution. Why? Why?
It was a 5v4. Toy was practically top side of the map. Why would you look for that play, Sutsujin? And now Onic, they will secure the Lord. And will this be the final push? I don't think so, but if RRQ makes the same mistake, this push might be the push that takes them to the grand finals, to MSC as well.
Only one game separates them from Riyadh. They have Salvero. And still in an okay place, 3-2-3. And he's stacking up the items. Toy secured that Blade of Despair. Is gonna be hitting like a truck. Lord comes in on the top lane. Can diversion from outside of the map.
Oh my goodness, Game-Boy! Finds the opening. Toy taken down. And ladies and gentlemen, RRQ, they're in shambles as the Lord is hitting the main base. And that will be it. Onic goes to MSC and will be in the grand finals.
Celebrate, Sonics! RRQ fell asleep for just a sliver of second, but Sans in his Gila form, truly a maniac. What a play to end the game, and what a way to come back from a sticky situation. 3-1 from the yellow porcupines, and the kingdom is theirs, at least for now. They secure a spot in the grand finals and they qualified to MSC.
Boy, oh boy. Wow. The Sonics are definitely up for joy. But that diversion play, Sheffin, that risk, that gamble, Toy deleted, that's just, yeah. All hell breaks loose and Onic takes the game.
Oh man, you mentioned something about joy, Connie.
Yeah.
But I feel like the joy killed them. Sutsujin, that was a very, very questionable push check. It's a joy against a Kaja. You have to somehow know. Like, why? I still don't get it. I'm still speechless on that attempt. That is something that they shouldn't have done. But once again, Onic will just fist bump it out.
Yeah. So officially for the first time, the upper bracket finals kings, which is RRQ, especially against Sonic, they will go to the lower brackets where they will meet with Geek. This was the final push, the diversion play. Oh, beautiful, beautiful harmony from the yellow porcupines.
We're gonna hear a word or two from the winner and see how they feel with the fact that they've secured a spot in one of the most prestigious tournaments, MLBB. Onic, welcome to MSC.
Dan final upper bracket sudah dimenangkan oleh tim Onic. Bukan hanya final upper bracket, mereka menjadi grand finalis pertama yang akan melaju untuk hari Minggu nanti dan ditambah satu slot untuk MSC at EWC. Onic, congratulations. Dan mungkin ada kata-kata untuk kemenangan hari ini?
Assalamualaikum Riyad.
Balik lagi nih untuk ke Riyad. Dan kita melihat bahwa benar-benar Onic hadir di sini di final upper bracket dan match terlihat begitu ketat. 4 game lagi kalian mainkan. Namun Bude penasaran untuk melawan RRQ. Bagaimana sih? Boleh diceritain mungkin?
Dia tim ini sih lumayan kuat lah. Jago-jago.
Jago-jago. Namun kalau dari Lutfi sendiri kita ngelihat kalian menggunakan Kaja Masya kombinasi kembali untuk game keempat. Apakah itu berarti sesuatu? Apakah ada maksud tertentu dari kombinasi itu?
Nggak ada sih. Kita main aja.
Main aja. Apakah ini
Ya.
mode kepengen Riyad atau gimana?
Ya itu bisa jadilah.
Bisa jadi, tapi penasaran. Apa yang mungkin Coach Syep katakan atau Adi katakan ketika match ini berlangsung atau sebelum match ini berlangsung?
Mereka cuman pesen jangan banyak pressure. Main lepas aja.
Main lepas aja. Dan kalau dari Suns sendiri, Suns. Ini mode Suns apa? Dan kalau dari Suns sendiri, Suns. Yang begitu mendebarkan momennya Suns, prime-nya Onic kah?
Oh, nggak tahu sih prime-nya apa enggak. Yang penting yang pastinya kita lumayan konsisten di playoff ini. Ya.
Oke, konsisten dengan 4 gamenya?
Bisa dibilang konsisten. Soalnya kan di playoff beberapa kali, 3 kali kita menang sampai ke grand final kan. Jadi bisa bilang konsisten lah.
Pokoknya fokus dalam kemenangan. Game 1, 2, lalu 3 sempat kepleset lagi. Memang ini di game ketiga kalian suka coba-coba atau bagaimana? Atau ada sesuatu hal yang kalian rubah setiap game ketiga?
Kurang tahu sih itu Bude. Emang di playoff kan kita setiap game 3-nya kalah terus kan. Cuman aku nggak tahu, nggak bisa berkata-kata sih.
Tak bisa berkata, tapi kalau kemenangan hari ini, katakan sesuatu Sans tentang kemenangan hari ini dan balik lagi ke Riyad.
Ya, let's go final. Kita masih ada 1 match lagi. Ya semoga lancar jaya aja.
Semoga lancar jaya. Masih berfokus terhadap grand final nantinya. Tapi kalau dari Savero,
King Savero.
King Savero, kali ini benar-benar momentum sedang didapatkan oleh Onic. Namun lawanmu hari ini adalah The Young Blood yang namanya juga sama-sama diserukan seperti halnya dengan nama Savero. Gimana sih untuk pertarungan di babak playoff melawan Toy?
Seru lah. Soalnya dia jago juga. Kompak juga lah timnya. Tadi buktinya aja agak hard game kan game semuanya.
Dari hard game itu, kasih tahu ke Bude, gimana cara kalian untuk bisa mendapatkan game-gamenya?
Mungkin lebih tenang aja sih di komunikasiin gamenya.
Lebih tenang di komunikasiin game. Dan Savero, kasih tahu dong, suasana Onic pas playoff sama regular season beda nggak sih?
Lebih seru lah sama lebih hype di playoff ya.
Lebih seru dan lebih hype. Jadi dari vibes teman-teman satu tim Onic itu mereka malah lebih hype pada saat playoff.
Ya, lebih hype.
Bisa kasih tahu kenapa?
Apa?
Kenapa tuh? Emang mereka suka dengan panggung yang besar atau pengen ngangkat piala lagi atau hype-nya kasih tahu itu kenapa?
Mungkin pengen bantu aku sama Lutfi angkat piala kali.
Asik. Satu langkah lagi bisa angkat piala. Semakin dekat untuk Onic mengukir sejarah kembali di tempat ini. Tapi perjalanan mereka tentu nggak mulus. Langsung kita tanya aja kepada sang burung kaja. Ada Kairi. Kayaknya itu kaja kah?
Kenapa?
Kayaknya kaja.
Ya di Kairi Kanyak Kaja.
Kenapa di game ini muncul lagi nih? Memang akan jadi hero yang kalian gunakan dengan kombinasi ini atau bagaimana? Kaja lagi.
Ya karena udah nggak pede main assassin tadi.
Ini jujur atau bercanda ya?
Ya bercanda.
Tuh kan. Langsung pada kaget pas saya, pada ketawa di sini. Tapi kalau melihat dengan momen-momen yang ada berat juga untuk Onic, kenapa terlihat sulit untuk ngedapetin kemenangan atau snowball lawan RRQ?
Ya karena RRQ jago juga.
Tapi momen apa tuh yang membuat kalian kayaknya cukup kesulitan? Ada sebabnya kah? Atau ada playernya kah? Atau gameplay mereka
Player
kah?
mungkin player Idok.
Idoknya?
Ya idolanya Kiboy.
Idolanya Kiboy. Kamu diapain sama Idok, Kairi?
Kayak tadi doang ada momen kan si Idok. Kayak momen Kiboy pas M5. Ingat Kiboy aja.
Momen Kiboy dilakukan juga oleh Idok. Tapi kalau dengan momen kalian tertinggal dan pada saat ini adalah lawan kalian RRQ yang konsistensinya memang kita tahu mereka begitu konsistensi, tapi kalian menurunkan mereka ke lower bracket. Untuk Kairi, does it mean something for you to put RRQ on lower bracket?
Nggak ada sih, sama kayak biasa aja, kita fokus sama tim kita.
Fokus aja sama tim kalian, tapi what is your focus on this match? Apa fokusnya Kairi? Stealing Lord, stealing Turtle?
Fokus menang.
Fokus menang. Gimana tuh caranya menang di match ini?
Apa ya? Nggak tahu sih.
Tiba-tiba menang aja gitu ya Kairi ya?
Ya,
Tiba-tiba
iya.
menang 3-1 skor, cukup puas dengan hasil ini?
Ya, belum puas.
Belum puas.
Karena belum juara.
Belum juara, masih dinantikan Sonic. Tapi kalau kata Kairi, Idok menjadi sebuah masalah. Kiboy, benerkah itu? Apa yang Kiboy rasakan di match kali ini? Apa kendala terbesar yang Kiboy rasakan untuk akhirnya bisa menjadi grand finalis pertama?
Kalau kendala ya pasti dari Idok lah, karena dia gameplay, makro, mekanik semua dia jago, hero pool juga banyak. Idol muda gue lah.
Idol muda. Tapi gimana tuh ngelihat dengan hal-hal yang kamu bilang positif dari Idok, caramu untuk mungkin bisa untuk meredam kekuatan Idok dan juga RRQ?
Yang pasti gue udah belajar banyak juga tentang Idok, dan gue juga belajar dari dia juga banyak.
Oke, ini menarik karena perjalanan mereka belum berakhir di sini. Memang sudah punya tiket grand final, sudah punya tiket untuk ke Riyadh. Namun, grand final akan menjadi pertanyaan besar. Siapakah yang akan menjadi lawan kalian di grand final? Dua-duanya udah kalian lawan, tapi siapa nih, Kiboy, yang akan menjadi lawan kalian lagi di grand final?
Lumayan berat sih Bude. Satunya first team roamer, satunya second team roamer.
Oke, jadi siapa nih? Kalau Kiboy gimana? Melihat
Ya,
first team dan second team rom?
Mungkin bakalan beda tipis lah. 4-3 RRQ lah.
RRQ, berarti yang akan menjadi lawan kalian kembali adalah RRQ. Oke, Kiboy sudah memberikan mungkin insight-insight, tapi gimana dengan Kairi? Kairi, siapa nih yang bakal jadi lawan kalian lagi di grand final?
Kalau prediksi gua Geek Farm 4-3.
Why?
Ya, gara-gara Baloy, ada Baloy.
Baloy, oke. Kalau Savero, siapa yang akan menjadi lawan dari Onic di grand final?
Kalau menurut aku 4-3 gig.
4-3 gig, kenapa tuh?
Ya karena ada Baloy sama Maykits jago banget.
Jago banget, singkat pada jelas. Namun gimana halnya dengan Sans?
4-2 kayaknya gig.
Karena? Apa yang kamu baca nih?
Lebih bagus tim playnya gig kayaknya. Ya.
Oke, itu kalau dari Sans. Sobat H, nggak bisa di rewind ya. Tapi kalau dari Lutfi gimana?
4-3 RRQ.
Ada apa? Kenapa?
Mungkin tadi lebih sengit aja sih lawan RRQ.
Lebih sengit dan berkesan. Tapi pada akhirnya grand finalis pertama siapapun lawannya, tetap grand finalis pertama adalah tim Onic. Dan silahkan sampaikan sesuatu, mungkin ada perwakilan dari Onic untuk kemenangan hari ini dan juga untuk grand final.
Terima kasih Sonic yang udah datang dan udah dukung kita. Jangan lupa dukung kita di hari Minggu. Jangan lupa datang.
Jangan lupa datang dan sekali lagi beri tepuk tangan yang meriah untuk tim Onic.
Bude, ada tambahan. Bisa?
Apa?
Kata Kairi dari hashtag 9 Go Riyadh.
Dari hashtag 9 Go Riyadh. Inilah dia tim Onic. Membuktikan diri. Thank you banget Onic. Namun kita belum berakhir sebenarnya. Nanti kita akan bertemu lagi dengan Onic karena jangan kemana-mana. Ada yang spesial. Hari ini dimana kita tahu bahwa kita memiliki 2 dari ladies perwakilan untuk Riyadh dan 1 dari perwakilan untuk MSC. Di hari ini kita mendapatkannya dan kita akan langsung mengundang karena ada sesuatu yang spesial. Kita akan sign off untuk para player, member, coach dari Onic Pertiwi untuk naik ke atas panggung karena mereka akan mendapatkan simbolis perpisahan dan simbolis pelepasan dari PBSI dan juga tentunya kita semua ingin berharap yang terbaik. Onic Pertiwi dipersilahkan untuk naik ke atas panggung. Perwakilan untuk MWI 2025. Ini dia Onic Pertiwi. Mereka berjuang dan pada akhirnya bisa mendapatkan slot ini. Oleh sebab itu izinkan Bude untuk mengundang Bapak Ken Truvano selaku anggota bidang kompetisi PBSI untuk bergabung di atas panggung untuk bisa menyerahkan simbolis untuk Onic Pertiwi. Dan inilah dia perjuangan para player bersama dengan coach. 5 member. Ada Livi, Sef, Po, Karta Slim, dan juga Yipi. Semuanya berjuang. Dan ini adalah simbolis pelepasan, sign off. Yang kita berharap bahwa Onic Pertiwi bisa membuktikan diri di ajang internasional. Kita akan mengabadikan momen ini, berfoto bersama, dan semoga ini bisa menjadi momen yang bisa kita kenang. Bagi Onic Pertiwi yang akan mewakili Indonesia di ajang MWI 2025. Dan terima kasih kepada Onic Pertiwi